You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, the labia saggers like to pretend they're normal, and they're just, the incels don't give a fuck how horrible they look, but they're also like just the ones more behind the scenes. The Karens are taking their like essence of grossness now and then like making it more gross, you know? Well, the so-called trolls. So this is the thing about IP2 and free speech, right? People always said IP2 is a honeypot. I have never tried to take IP2 down, and I wouldn't, like, it's not my interest. I do have control to have them not mention my name though. I haven't gotten to that, and I'm not sure if I care, but I might. I do have the power to do that, but I'm not going after IP2 itself. That's not even interesting to me, nor do I think it's even going to be easy if I wanted to, nor do I care. Like, it's not my problem if, like, anyways, like, all I'm saying is, like, IP2 forever, people have said it was a honeypot. I don't know what the fucking case is, but I kind of am starting to think after the Fed element, maybe they fucking are. Hi Ron, how are you, sweetie? Right, Andrea, yeah, no, it's just like, it's sped up everything that, so like I said, even like with if you're just gonna stick with just DV itself, there's two types. There's physical, and then there's what happened with me, which also was physical. It started out that way, and I am the one who's had the only real actual like physical damage from anything, although it was minor. It was when he threw the fucking mirror over my head and I had cuts and scrapes on me. I don't even remember that. I'm just saying, like, me slapping him when he pretty much like provoked me into it and then told me to, with intent to call the police for revenge, which we found out like earlier this year was actually the reason he did that, because he admitted it and I didn't know it until I looked at old footage. But like, I don't know, dude, like, fuck, yeah, no, he had no power until people realized that the people who I was already ignoring were able to like go worse. I don't know who owns IP2. I just feel like there's an element that might be federal behind it to try to catch people that like, so IP2 is interesting because yes, it's free speech and that's the essence of it, and there's real true free speech trolls in there like me, or like people that are like, okay, equal narrative, call me whatever mean thing you want, just make sure it's valid, like at least don't lie and like smear and defame me, that affects my income. Don't do that. That's also a tort crime, although annoying and not very scary. Don't. Still crime. Also, like, the tort piracy is like a big one because there's a couple of people that pirated my brand, and I have the trademark, I have the LLC, and I have common law, and I have my own domains. It's mine. You know what that means? The people that pirated my domain, if they think they're trying to litigate against me, the reality is they've stolen my domain already before that, before I had to respond and tell them to fuck off how I have had to. So like, they can twist it as if they didn't provoke me and start things first, but no matter what, like, the real pattern is that they committed a crime first. Also discovery purposes. You don't want to know who pirated my shit, but I know a few people that don't want to know that. I could know their name and I already have that power. I just haven't sat around filing yet. Nobody owns what? No, I mean, I don't know, Anonymous. It's not even like that is what I'm saying. I haven't looked into it. I don't care. It's just weird because what I'm trying to say is that you have real trolls and then you have criminals that pretend they're trolls. Because what they're doing is, like, everybody's so confused on what speech and free speech versus criminal speech are because the laws don't, like, correlate yet. So, like, everybody that's bad is trying to just use free speech as if it's all words, which is there's literally a reason it's called free speech. It's a form of words. Means it's not going to get you arrested. Fuck. And there are bases to why those crimes would be crimes versus just incidental and stupid and bad in free speech. But if there's an intent, pattern, and like lack of remorse behind it, and a distribution that's meant to continue DV, especially like in my case, or any crime, like, yeah, let me think of another crime that's not DV. Although DV is very fucking unique, and it does, like I said, it's kind of the most unique in the sense where everything that happened to me pretty much on the dot, whether it was him or influenced by him and others helped. It was DV at every level. Like, the two most biggest ones are your image being swapped so no one helps you, and then taking all the income access away that you're used to having. So, like, that was actually the two biggest things everyone fucked with, was my image and my income. And those were the biggest ones with DV, actually. But, like, I'm trying to think of another crime that might be more, that's not just DV. I'm trying to think of something that would still be able to be spread. Let's see, let's just say you're being sexually harassed, okay? And it started out with a person that you know that like hacked your phone that you didn't consent to giving that to, and then like they spread it elsewhere. I guess that technically would be a more isolated form of a sex crime, and it wouldn't be DV, and it wouldn't have the same relief codes if you won those cases. But because again, that would be incidental versus a bunch all at once, which is what happened with me, which was intentional. And then so basically, like, let's see, just a regular like sex crime that is like from a fucking stranger, because DV, you have to live with them, you have to be romantic or very, very emotionally close to them, which could be family too. Also, that's why pets are included in DV protection orders always, and that was what really helped was the Abby thread, because pets are just as protected as like a very close family member or a roommate as you are in those cases. So DV is unique, but if you were to just isolate it down to like anyone that you don't live with that's under that classification that is still committing a crime, and then eventually it gets spread still on the internet. Again, same thing where it just gets bigger, broader, and more insidious and more like long game, because again, everything takes forever because the laws are not on track to like really be effective right away when you need them to be. Yeah, actually, Anonymous, they're not though when the law gets involved. That's the reality. That's why I have power. You have to get orders though and stuff like that, and then YouTube has to deal with it, like, because they are under American law, but they will not just do it voluntarily, and that's gross too. They let really bad people stay up forever while they chase normal, everyday people offline. Like, they're not allowed to be on it. That's, again, terrorism. It is not at all free speech. But like I said, I think that like fucking like IB2 is a 50-50, and maybe even like worse now, because I think the normies have left IB2 that thought it was just fun. But what you have hiding behind the real trolls that are true free speech, and they don't go really that far, is you have actual criminals that are masking themselves and their bad acts as crimes, because no one's really certain about how to define free speech. So I also get that, but like it's coming to an end. Like I said, I've already seen like dox laws even, let me look at this right now, I'm curious. So let's see what we got here. All right, which states have dox laws in them as of right now? What American states have dox laws currently established? I think 2 more recently, very fucking recently, got fucking established, and it was like in the South. No. I want dox laws, you fuckers. Huh? That was spelled incorrectly. Fuck you, phone. The 15 is not supposed to be this annoying. Rawr. Currently. Okay, it's just 3. It's Alabama, California, and Illinois. That's it. But the Alabama and Illinois are brand new. Okay, yeah, so here we go. As of late 2025, and then like I said, there was a bunch of states that looked like they were like leading up to establish doxing laws, but then the housing crisis kind of diverted their focus on litigation, and it didn't get really picked up until more recently. Like literally, if you look at doxing like legislation, like you can see it. It's pretty obvious. Actually, it's not more strict. It says it is, but do they act on their own TOS? Not often. No, they don't. It's a fact. Dude was literally targeting children at a judge and didn't get taken down. And when they got taken down recently, I still don't know why, because it wasn't me. I swear on my whole everything, it literally wasn't me, and it chilled me out because like Q got taken down. I know Victoria claims ownership for that, but I'm just saying, like, these are accounts that literally, like, I know were not just going down easily, and they just suddenly overnight just went down, and there was nothing super inflammatory. In fact, Q kind of tucked his tail, deleted a lot of the really bad stuff. Oops, sorry Q, I still have it saved. So why did it only happen? Like, it was weird. It was like, and then the whole like I said earlier, like with you know who, and the fact that like everybody thinks I called his bank, like it literally wasn't like that. All I'm seeing now is a pattern. That why I'm shocked is because I didn't do it. All these things I can do, but it would have taken a lot fucking longer. It definitely, to me, seems like with the fucking bank thing, there's a terrorism watch list, because that's what happened with Baked Alaska after G6. He was banned off all the bank accounts that I never made a phone call for. So, not me. I don't like pork. Silly. Sorry. Gross. Don't eat pork. Eat fish. I think they have fewer nerves too, also. But also, like, vegan is more ideal. But also, like, fish is fine. Mediterranean's fine. Lots of greens, algae, marine vitamins and nutrients are my favorite. I love fucking algae. And then I also love fish. But also, like, if I were to be able to be vegan again, I might try that route. But I'm not sure if I want to go quite that route. Fish and fucking veggies might be my, like, I might literally be pescatarian again. once I get back to normal. And I was trying to do that here, and I got back to like the greens and shit, but maybe that's why my belly isn't so fat anymore too, because I'm not eating just a shitload of fast food. But like my ass is still huge, so obviously like I didn't lose that for a reason. So I'm assuming it is more healthy weight than it is just like really gross, disgusting, high calorie fucking fast food that's disgusting for your body. My body looks more normal. Oh really? I used to love steak. Well, even if they are though, that's the thing. What it is that they don't have a system. Okay, so even for like, so I'm gonna tell you guys right now how this works. I've had to do all this research. Trust. You know how many times I would spend, like, especially last year when my sister and mom got doxxed, like, I spent entire days at Justin's desperately trying to get his channel taken down. And I will admit that, and I said that once. The only time I did it, I don't think I was the only one reporting him though. But it wasn't doing anything. Like, other people were getting involved in it still. It was one more person that literally was like, fuck this, I'm reporting. And then it was gone. And that's the only, and that wasn't even guaranteed. And like what they were saying would have absolutely 100% gone against policy, and people long formed it. I long formed it. I'm just saying, like, it ain't that easy. It's not like that. And I just have to know, because I know how criminal things are that have been proven as such, that we're not dealt with YouTube, because they just like what it is with YouTube is, well, hurting me gave him engagement, and they weren't going to get rid of that. Well, the engagement left right after I won, because he wasn't really useful to you guys anymore. Also that too, Andrea, yeah, but I was hearing like somebody was, I think it was Victoria, was telling me Katz was talking about the mass reporting AI bullshit, which is like gross. But also even that doesn't seem to be always effective. Like, the only real way to do it is to force them by American law, and I can do that, but you can't just email them the documents. You have to physically mail it to them. That, Anonymous, you probably do know more than me, and I don't know if you understand all the depths of what I've had to go through with all of this. Like, I'm just telling you like what I've learned that applies to my situation. With me, I will tell you for a fact, they're literally like not even gonna do shit until it's physically mailed in, which is fine. Also, I have to attach any accounts I want to have taken down too. And then at that point, my personal account gets flagged, and they'll probably give me back VP main because they had no reason to take it down. And it correlates with all of my legal notes to now what I'm protected against. I still think I might get both back, but I'm not even gonna try for VP meme dog and friends. VP main though, like, had nothing on it. It was totally appeal approved, rescanned as clean for TOS totally, and then remonetized, and then hours later nuked. No, the woman that was talking to me about my monetization coming back was still talking to me like the channel was up when I texted her, or when I messaged her. I'm like, lady, it's down. And she's like, no, you're remonetized. I'm like, yeah, 2 hours ago, and now it's down. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. I don't follow Q like that, Eric, honestly. So I'm just saying, like, at least I don't know about that, but I'm just saying I saw some accounts that are really, really, really nefarious and were seriously part of what happened, and they were some of the biggest digital hitters, and they're down. The only thing I can tell you with the FBI shit is that there's obviously something with the fucking bank account, because that's what happened with Baked. It literally was. Like, if you're on a watch list, that's kind of how it starts going. Again, I don't know the depths of it, and I would tell you guys if I could and I knew, but I don't. You think I'm not gloating right now because I'm not actually that poker face. I would literally be like, dude, no, the feds are, I don't know. There's a lot of digital concerns with the, again, it is our future, guys. We're the ones who have to fucking, wait, Andrew, what are we talking about? Driving online, what do you mean? How do you drive online? I'm so confused. What? Please clarify. I feel retarded. It might last for another half hour, actually, because it's at 50%. Okay, so, okay, hold on. Okay. So, let's go back to the dox laws. There's 3 states in this whole country now that have them established. Like I said, they were getting drafted and, like, discussed, and, like they were getting formed before the housing crisis. And then, again, even this dox law here, which was the fucking only state in the country until recently to have it, they've had it since 2008, and what it looks like to me is they just got it established before other states did, and then the bubble crashed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it very much obviously showed in pattern. Oh. I believe you, Eric, actually. I'm not even, like, gonna contest that. I'm just saying, like, I didn't do those things. I have no fucking play in those matters, although if I wanted to long game, I could have. I'm telling you, literally, it wasn't me. And there was way more than that, but the number one thing is the whole fucking, like, I don't even know if it was Cash App or Power Chat or whatever. Like, I think it was Square or something. When somebody mentioned to me that they were posting about that, I was like, dude, that's not a good sign, and not for me. That means that there's more going on with the FBI than probably we all fucking, I don't want to know it. I brushed against the feds, and then they were nice to me at the end, and I'm good with that. Like, let's leave it there. I had no interest in that FBI at all. Yeah, I don't know, Eric AF. That's what I'm saying. Like, he literally, like, well, didn't he, like, get doxxed by Bay after, like, you know who was, like, targeting the judge? Because everybody that was finally realizing it wasn't an appropriate look to be cool with him, that was at least had the shame to save face, like, you know, Trino. I know she still funds him, but she likes to look clean on the surface. But the judge that I'm connected to, you can't do that. It might make me look bad. I supported you even though I knew you were a terrorist. How's it feel, lady? At least at least she had the nerve to fucking run off. But it was crazy. Like, I again, like, people like screenshotted it, and I did too once I got into it, because I was like, what the fuck? And then when the FBI called me, I was like, what the fuck? And then when they found him like 10 minutes later, I'm like, I didn't even know where he was. What is this? What do I not know? I don't care anymore though, because I know that all I needed was my piece and I got it. So I don't know about the rest of them, and I don't really know about Q like that. Hi, DJ Charlie. Hi, missed you. I'm just saying there was a lot of things that are implying to me. Like I said, the fucking panhandling thing that I saw, like the clips for, like 2 days after it happened. It took a while before I saw more clips, and I'm like, whoa, it was a DV officer that handed a panhandling ticket. Like I said with Blackout Andy, even that dumping out the beer thing, they're finding things because they know these people and they're over them, and they don't have the laws to really go hard at them right now, but they're gonna get them for something. To me, that said a lot, because it was not me on my life. It wasn't me. Nothing recent is me. Even the day after when the judge was targeted, that wasn't me. They called me on my life. I'm telling you, like, something's going on, and I don't know what it is, but it's not gonna hurt me. And all I know is that my situation, it's over, thank God. That was why I did this. And like I said, I literally said it to every person I wrote. And I sent evidence too, that I was telling what was going on, because I knew that if everyone saw the people that were good in the system were not gonna hurt me and let me, like, get my rights established. So I did, but it was exhausting. Eric, I didn't do it, so I actually have no idea, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I do, because I'm actually not like that. I don't sit there and tell people what reality happened, that what I wasn't there for. I'm telling you right now, I have no idea. I'm just saying, like, there were way more, it was more than just him though. But also, like, I think that it was a community, if that's the case, because I think Bay doxed him, and then they all got unmodded and left, you know whose chat, the ones that wanted to save face. I think Q's a female. I don't know if you know that or not, and I don't care if you tell me. I'm just saying, it's pretty obvious. Also, I might have some info. Also, I might be able to easily get the exact info, because maybe Tort Pirate was a bad idea, because I can get all the discovery in the world for that. Maybe that was a bad idea. I digress. That was a crime, although not a fun one, not an effective one. There were way deeper crimes that motherfucker committed, like literal felony, you know, fake evidence, targeting my income, like, nefariously with intent, and coordinated targeting with fake fucking AI abuse. Yes, those are criminal things. Trash. Also, like, you know, the sexualization of the baby was gross, but, like, literally there were heavy fucking crimes with that motherfucker. Sorry, I know you like him, but also, like, you probably shouldn't have committed a tort law while you were, like, literally criming, dude, because now I have proof that you committed a crime already. You know what I'm saying? Like, oopsies. Anywho, I don't even care. Like, honestly, like, I haven't even thought about Q lately, because honestly, it's not a problem for me. If it's a real big problem and it's seriously affecting my life, do I have the power to deal with it? Is it fun, and do I want to? I would like to not, but if I have to, I started my ability to take action on things that are absolutely valid and within my rights if needed. So, name 2 actual crimes. Okay, so interference with false evidence, committing DV, targeting through an actual warranted piece of shit that's also gagged. Now, in 2 states have either warrants or an active order for my safety against this person. So, yes, interference is not only a felony. Also, the stalking thing, yeah, I got proof of all that too. Also, the weird harassment where people were, like, doxing me and not the people involved who I didn't dox. you guys are retarded. Let's just leave it there. And I have everything to show that I did not start it, and also how I tried to handle it before I had to lose my shit and get humbled, or get you guys humbled, some of you. And I'm not saying that's everyone. I didn't humble everyone, but the ones I did, it was valid, although I didn't like going there, you know? So like, I'd really just like to chill. But yeah, no, fake AI abuse for like felonious like interference, that's called evidence tampering. Let's just start there. That's why I had to do the ex parte, so they knew it was a fake video before we got it there, because they don't have to here's the thing, if it's not properly like sent in prior, they do not have to accept it if it's a video, but they can if they believe you enough. And the judge that I had listened to me and believed me, so he let me. But it is up to them at that point if you don't prep it technically, and I had no guarantee that I was going to be able to use mine. So like, basically, like, I knew that also if that evidence were used, I might even not even be able to prove that it was fake. So I had to send it in with the ex parte first. Eric, you're playing dumb right now. Like, we don't know what the fuck those references were for. That's disgusting. Stop. Also, still not that criminal. Also, just gross. That's called harassment at the bare bones level. Also, like, the person who I'm not going to court for tomorrow because I'm so over it and I have way more important things to do to get on with my life, and I can start it again anywhere because the order was already granted, especially in the state south if I need to, where there's less corruption. I'm just saying, obviously the law agrees with me that these are crimes, because that person's face isn't even known. For real, for real. I know that that's not really her picture. Ain't nobody like that sitting next to me in the courthouse, and I know she was next to me. Trust me, she has admitted it. I'm just saying, like, you know it's not a weird stretch, and you know what it was referencing to, and you're playing dumb. Stop. Yikes. Eric, I know you're not this dumb, and you're not this fucking dismissive, and you can critically think, so stop. I'm giving you a compliment. I'm saying you're not a retard. Fuck. Show me that side of you more. God damn it. God. Like, and also I say things that are kind of like harsh sounding, but I really am kind of just being sarcastic. Like, I don't really like, if I don't get real, that's gonna be obvious, because you'll see that, like, I'll say something because I'm annoyed, but like also like I won't like literally like go hard and cruel. But if I go hard and cruel, it's because you provoke me to the point where I feel like you're trying to kill me, and I have to bite you so hard you don't keep coming back. And that's when I lose my shit, and it's nasty. And I had to have that side of me out all year last year, because that was how bad the targeting and provoking was, and the whole emotional trauma thing being used to exploit my whole like sanity levels publicly for content, you know. It doesn't matter. It's filed. It's okay, yes, it's a temporary order. It was granted. Okay, for starters, like, I didn't even get that with you know who. And he had warrants for DV, so let's just go there. Oh, let's start out, oh, it was a digital case. Oh, also the police report. Yeah, that was a big deal. That was the reason I got the emergency order. It's actually not actually as simple as you would think to get an emergency order, especially in civil courts with a faceless digital case. No, it's over if I want to restart it. Also the services, 4 of them. No civil court in this state will give me an issue, because it's all within the same state, same laws. And also the order was literally granted, and if I cannot continue the hearing here, yes, I can restart it there, because that would be a technicality. Okay, Eric, it was gross, get over it. Like, honestly, like, if you were me, you would feel the same way. If you were my sister, does she not have the right to feel that way? Because she was so scared. Fuck you. Like, don't act like you wouldn't get upset if these things happen to you. It's not just because you're not being targeted that you have a right to act like you don't mind. The reality is you're not being targeted. And if it were you and your loved ones, you would feel a whole lot fucking differently. Stop. That's bullshit. Stop it. Oh my god, it's symbolic to people that know it. It was a taunt. Just like the direct images of my family members. That was to say, hey, we know where they are and who they are, and they've never been doxxed before. They went deep for some of those pictures, and they were real pictures and real fucking social media they snuck onto to take those pictures with make AI. That ain't normal, Eric. That's stalking. That is intimidation, and it all goes along with the case, because it was meant to keep me from feeling safe with my own rights with a private matter that got exploited. That alone was a crime, by the way. Just saying, like, again, like, the law has agreed with me. It wasn't easy, and it should have been way less hard. But they still agreed with me when the right people saw it. So, like, where am I going down with this right now? Am I going after Q for that? No, actually, I'm not. Was it gross that my little sister had to call me fucking bawling her eyes out? Yes, fuck you for acting like I'm not allowed to have a family with feelings, or myself, or my sister. Like, because you would feel the same way if it were your little sister. So stop, like, right there. Bill Lumberg, actually, like, I'm really excited. And I don't, here's the thing. Honestly, when I was a kid, My well, no, there's not a win. It would be like, it would literally be like left in limbo because okay, so because I have to be displaced because of shelter, and that's more of a priority than me going. I literally have like, A, it was already granted in the same state. B, it was emergency. C, I already had 4 services that also like, yeah, four services. And then also like it was already granted. Although yes, the case will not be continued. I don't have to continue it if she fucks off though. I literally am opening that up as an option for her if she can handle that, but I don't think she can. In that case, I will absolutely go to the much less corrupt LA courts, get it restarted right back up, NBD. You know, it's like, unless I waited like 6 months to do it, that'd be a little different. I know that was fucked up, Anonymous, and I agree with that, but that was also me like in not understanding why I really was so stressed, and a lot of it had to do with how I've been treated by her like my whole life, and I was not in a position where I feel like anyone respected my privacy, and I was so exploited that my brain wasn't working. Like I literally, like I said, the morning before the fucking trial, like I was puking because Purple was like out for hours, like 15 hours, and it was 2 hours before the court hearing. I was freaking out because everything was gonna not help. Like it was all a waste at that point. And I don't remember saying what I said about Purple. It was me being absolutely terrified, and people that I relied on were not really that reliable in the moments I needed most. And I'm not proud of it. And I wish that people like weren't so hard trying to get to catch me at the worst moment, because like it's almost like you just had no respect for me as a person going through something, and I lost it on camera, and I regretted that, and I've said that. I really wish I hadn't have said that. But at this point though, like the fact that you guys have pulled out real information and then twisted it into fake news, I have to clarify it the same way you guys have twisted it. So there's that. Well then, I mean, I guess you get to tell that to my sister, who felt like she was literally being directly stalked. Or my dad, who didn't even care that my naked body has been exploited all over the internet, but he seemed to be really upset when his own AI image was recreated. So I guess there's no instinct there. And then my bio dad, who no one even knows, and when you look me up, it's not connected to my name. That's called stalking. And if the ex hadn't have had my mom and sister's numbers for emergencies, there's a reason my dad never got doxxed right at the beginning, because it was my sister and my mom who he had their numbers for emergencies for. And then also he laughed. Well, I have it on camera, him talking about doxing my fucking mom and sister. Yikes. Anyways, so what people did was they took a piece of shit that I loved and trusted, who I shouldn't have, and I didn't know better, but it was still a private matter, so why did everyone else make it harder, right? Let's just start there. You know, I'm just saying, like, guys, come on now. Anyways. So, yeah, don't act like, Eric, I know some of it you probably just don't believe because it just seemed like these people are so nice, you just can't see them being problems. I get that. That's kind of the point though. That's how fucking like smear campaigns work. They're meant to like kiss ass to the people that they think they can recruit and like be more unaware or complicit. I don't think you're a bad person. I think that you are kind of mistaken by how you're being treated versus how I've been treated, and versus things I'm not even telling you have happened, versus like what you think is going on. They're chummy with you because you say what they want you to say, all right? Like, and I'm not saying that's you bad or good or at all. I'm just saying that's why they treat you that way. Me, I said the opposite, including calling out Jake Silver for enabling a 19-year-old to go to a hotel alone where her mom couldn't protect her from copious amounts of meth. You know, the guy that only until recently, after he paid people, was not looked at as a predator in the community. And that says more about the people in the community than him, by the way. Oh yeah, that was what I was going to say about Kick too. The normies generally seem to have gone to Kick because Kick seems to not really tolerate the degens on the YouTube situation. That's what we were talking about with the platform bullshit, is that like, yeah, YouTube is weirdly sluggish, and they seem to go more off of like engagement numbers and like how much they can make money off of like that YouTube channel. So like when you get more engagement and stuff, it seems like they don't fuck with you. And for a while, it was like almost until after, when there was no one really engaging with that person anymore, that was when that account got taken down. And it, on my life, was not me. On my whole fucking life. No, actually that was after the first doxes, and I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't know stream wasn't muted. That was a mistake. Also, it wasn't the full number either. Also, it was doxed like a month prior. You know why I know? Because my mom wouldn't talk to me after he doxed her for a month, and then yeah. So, yeah. But you guys didn't all know it as much as openly, which I wish I would have been smarter about. But here's the other thing. Let's just break this down. I did those things by mistake, and you guys were waiting as opportunists to be bad and use it and weaponize it. Let's talk about who's the problem here. Because if you were healthy, normal people, you wouldn't wait around for information that I mistakenly gave out so you could do all the things you did. Shut the fuck up. You're disgusting. Yeah, an accident. Yeah, obviously. Like, literally didn't remember half the time that there was another fucking live on. When I would turn mine off or my mute on, I forgot that like the RV live would be on too. Like, it was all retardation. Also, like, I wasn't in my right mind and thinking about everything I should have. I literally was smoking a meth, a drug I would never normally have ever seen myself touching next to a teenager. But it was because I was in my own state of chaos, and then like she was just around other people I was already around, and I didn't really wake up until the day that she fucking kind of like came like, and I told her no, and that was what got me exploited the first time. So I tried to be the bigger person once I woke up, but at first, no, I wasn't mentally healthy either. Well, that's good, Anonymous. I believe you. I hope not. That's really probably ideal. But no, my sister and my mother were doxxed actually before that. So, and my dad wasn't doxxed until Q came along, and neither was my grandma. They actually thought that my grandpa that died, his wife was my grandma, and no offense, but she's kind of a bitch. I don't hate her actually though, but like if it was between her and my grandma, I wasn't gonna let them know that that wasn't my grandma. But they still found my grandma this year, and that was when I lost it. That was when I fucking lost it. Purple's job. Fucking, although Purple probably half did that to himself, but I saw the proof that there were targets to that too. I think it was a combination. His dad was crying from the harassment. Even like the last two people that we won't name that I was with that are gross people, they didn't deserve that either. Why? Because the last person I stayed with told me to go to the pool, and I had a wristband on that you guys creeped on and found. Like, you're looking for this. That is not me. I'm just trying to be live and exist. I'm not actually doing anything really, really nefarious at all. In fact, I'm not even doing anything illegal, much less bad. I'm literally bed rotting. Oh well, you cannot like that, or you can admit that you're just obsessed with me while you sit on your asses and do nothing while I'm literally grieving and trying to process and get through my own private matters that were exploited, and you're fucking freaks and you have nothing else better to do. That's you guys again. But like waiting around for something to just be a mistake to like exploit someone for it, hurt them with, I don't think that's me. That's called intent. Law. That's how law works. Sounds like I didn't have bad intent, but you guys did, even if I did unintentionally leave someone's number up while I didn't realize another camera was on. So let's just start there. Think about it. You know I'm right, because I am. I don't sit around trying to hurt people like that. So I'm glad, Anonymous, that you're not like that, but many people unfortunately were, which is why, although it was literally the cat's fucking collar with Nathan's house, and Nathan doxed himself the night before. There was a lady that already found out, but it didn't get big until the day after. But Nathan doxed himself first because he told people his TikTok, and this crazy lady, I know she's the one who was leaving all the crazy fucking messages. She literally called him and was like kissing his ass, trying to like flirt. Actually, no, it is absolutely intent. Yeah, intent by taking things that you know could really be dangerous and trying to weaponize them. Again, that's literal intent. Are you stupid? Holy fuck. Help me, God, help you, not me, help you, because I'm obviously going to be okay in life, even though you really tried to kill me. There's a reason I'm not dead, because I'm not retarded. Also, I don't think I know everything. I just speak on things that I have to know if I'm forced into it, which a lot of my life, I've had my head turned in ways that maybe they weren't as intense as this, but I've had to recreate things. That's not really true, me, since like I've said, like remember, I literally had 3 whole years of total peace and 0 targeting, even when I maced my friend, which is still not malicious, but it was still like way more inflammatory and less fucking forgive. Like I would be more accepting if people had targeted me then after I was alone in my car and coping and not mentally right, and it was exploited. And people didn't give me grace. And then like also the whole thing with the fucking pedestrian. I didn't break a real law. Although yes, it was a pedestrian and I was in the car. Yes, it covered her medical. I didn't get a fucking charge, and there wasn't even a report. It was a literal fucking exchange of information. Yo, Scribbles, you still modding here? What's up? I didn't even know if you were modding here, Scribbles. I haven't seen you for a minute. Yeah, negligence is not intent though. Negligence in isolated incidents is, again, those are defenses as non-criminal. You should check it out. I've had to trust that. That's not true. Like I said, when you had people that were not weaponizing things I trusted in real life with them, like Chicken even, although I don't like Chicken, he actually protected me online. And in turn, the internet respected that as much as they could have. And I was never targeted, even when my fucking mishaps were way worse, in my opinion, or way more justified. Scribbles, shut up. Are you? No, I'm actually just kind of thought dumb. I'm actually trying to I actually haven't looked at the chat and engaged for a while, and I'm trying to. But honestly, some people are so toxic, but then I miss the really cool people, and I can't DM everyone right now. And when I try to DM people, I want to talk to people and catch up. Trust me, you have no idea. But if I literally waste 5 minutes trying to sum everything up real fast and then dip out for a few days, and then a phone call comes in the middle of that audio, I don't finish the audio, and that person doesn't get talked to for another 3 or 4 days. Your armadillos, okay, listen, Scribbles, dude, Scribbles, are we gonna stream together when I come south? Are you down for that? Are we on that level? Do you hate me? I don't think you hate me. You've always been nice since, well, and look where that got you. I appreciate you being nice, though. Would you like to stream when I come south? Because I need streaming buddies. Also, I'm mostly stuck in LA until I fucking get my car. Not asking you for rides, but you would have to come, obviously, over to me. That's all. Can't really easily get to fucking Riverside, but I don't have a pipe. I don't have anything like that. And all the drug tests in the world have said otherwise. Also, anyone normal can look at me now and tell there's a difference. I know I can. I've watched my own streams. I feel different. I'm definitely not as reactive. Wham. Oh, what? I knew when I did what I did. I don't want to live at your house, Scribbles. I have my own spot to go. I didn't ever want to live at anyone's house. That's why my car was better than the situation I was into. I'm not going to hang out with Scribbles at his house to live with him. Does your wife, is she cool with me? How does she feel about me? She seems really sweet. I hope she likes me enough. Doesn't feel threatened by me. Bring her out too. Let's not go crazy though, and let's not get the cops. Let's not go that hardcore. Scribbles, can we all just go out and chill and do stupid things and bore the chat if we need to, but also, they're gonna watch. Because if it's me and you involved, they're gonna find anything they can to be obsessively stalkerish with. And then if we don't give it to them, they can't do anything, and we just have fun. And we get the AdSense. Are you monetized? I'm just saying. Let's kick it. I actually feel like you're okay. I've never hung out with you in real life, but I feel like you're okay. And I know that you get what I've been through on some level, so there's that. Remember when I first talked to you? Wait, really? Scribbles, why? Oh, is it because of the fucking legal shit? Are you still dealing with that? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not paying attention to anything right now. All I know is that when I stepped out and got quiet, all y'all started to get a lot more of a spotlight on you. Sorry for that. Also, I'm not the scapegoat for all the crazy people in the community. Also, I'm actually trying to help everyone else that's been targeted to my ability. I can't promise that I can. I have some, but I can't always. If it's connected to my ex, though, and the case and interference, yeah, I can definitely help with that. But, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is none of this was shit that I was okay with before. My trust with an offline person and Dick that I chased offline that happened to be around a camera, one of them did not exploit me, although they did technically in other ways Chicken, but the second one exploited me intentively online so that all my information that only he was supposed to know, because I trusted and loved them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit, we're about to die. Hold on. I don't want to end this combo right now. I'm not quite done yet. I want to talk to fucking... Okay. Well... Okay, so here's the thing, Scribbles. Check this, though. What if we just go to, the fucking beach and do normie shit, you know? I'm serious. That's actually what me and Billy would end up doing, is just normie shit. And, here's what people used to... God, this is what people used to say about me. They would tell me that, fucking, what? I think it was DSM before he got mad and came back. But he, you know what? I think I actually, I've seen what she's done, and I see how loyal she is to Scribs. And you know what? If my ex had been actually, I think Scribs loves his wife. And I think she fights for him like I was trying to fight for my ex. But, I have respect for that. But also, Scribbles probably deserves that fight more than you know who. Also, I'm pretty sure that, anything she's good at, I've probably already experienced some level of, although maybe not the same success. I'm a female, and I'm a go-getter. I'm also, a nurturer. I'm also a Karen when I need to be. We would probably get along. I don't know, though, for sure. Like I said, Priya liked me until she didn't. And that was because you guys got in her ear, not me, in my opinion. But, also, baby, come on. You want to go under? I know she loves you. Scribbles, I've seen you get drunk and not say the nicest things, but it doesn't... Like, I've done that with my family, and obviously, like, I literally just did all this because it upset me the most that they were hurt. So, like, I get that, actually, and I don't think that makes you not love her. I've seen people talk about that, though. She definitely loves you, though, from what I've seen, without a doubt. And, like, I could see it, like, the few times, like, no offense, but when you guys were fucking out. And she just, like, she tries to, like, keep things normal, I feel like. Like, she likes to try to maintain the worst of it when everybody goes crazy. And, like, I feel like she's protective of you, actually. Like, and herself, of course. But, like, I don't know. I think she seems like a smart chick who really cares about you. Oh, I know, Scrubs. Well, that's what I'm just saying. Like, I'm not going to hold these things against you the way they do, because also I feel like we both understand what it's like to have reality twisted. And then people that actually do like us and care about us, they're twisted as being, I agree, anonymous. I didn't say it was. But it's also pretty powerful. It means you're really good at getting your way if you have to, especially when filing's involved. Not a fan of that, though. I agree. I don't like to be a Karen. I'm really only 35. I don't want to be a Karen until I'm 44 going on 45, because then I'll be old. I'm not old till I'm 44 going on 45. I got another decade. Woohoo! Hi, Ron. But yeah, girls, anyways, like, I'm literally not trying to have, like, I normally don't have provocatory content. Everybody used to say back in the day I would be the most boring streamer ever until something on accident happened on camera and I would just be, I went viral. And I swear on my life, like, my life's always been really weird and weird things do happen. Imagine what's not been on camera. But also, like, I'm just saying, like, typically though with me, like, that's why I like Billy so much. It's just normal. And like, we really just kind of like, it's just content that's on the boulevard and stuff like that. Like, Hollywood is chock full of shit that you can just get content for without incriminating yourself. You know what I mean? So, are you calling me a whale again? Jesus Christ. Okay. I lost a ton of weight. This doesn't apply, but thank you for calling me fat. Thank you. I'm no longer a whale. Fuck you. Thank you for the whale figuring to tell me I'm a fat fuck when I'm not a fat fuck. I'm not skinny like I was, but this is not applicable. Suck my nuts and thank you. Yo, Jay, what's up, son? Jenny. Anyways. But yeah, Scrib, I would like to kick it if you wanted to with your wife. I would love both of you guys. Actually, no offense. I kind of would prefer it if both of you were there, because I feel like, I don't know, no offense, but you and the boys, you and Eric and Mike, like, all get super wild when you drink. And, like, that's cool. But it would be nice to have someone who's kind of more on the, like, middle ground level of, like, having fun without being wild. I love you, Jay. I said I missed you the other day to the anonymous account that was not you, and I thought it was you and it wasn't modded. And I'm glad I did not realize it at the time, because I would have modded a fake you. Now I see this is really you. But when I looked the other day and I was, like, talking to you, it wasn't you, I guess. But I told you I missed you. Well, you did, Scribbles. I know, but anyways, offer is open if you'd like to. I can't promise Billy and Andy, but honestly, likely they're part of the package if, like, you're going to be by me, because that's where they are too, so. And also, Andy is hit or miss. I don't have my car. I can't go pick him up anymore. I literally texted you, like, actually to say that, but, like, I don't know. You didn't respond. Or if you did, I didn't fucking... Oh, I know they're not. I get that. I know they're not now, but I'm just saying, like, the similarities of, like, when they go ham, they're wild. You guys are boys when you're drinking, and it's funny, but also, like, I need, like, an adult woman probably that's like, oh my god, let's contain this. Like, that would be kind of probably chill. I'm just saying, that's not an insult. Like, I actually have a lot of, like, even if you don't like Mike and Eric, like, I still have hope that Eric's gonna get out of the funk he's been in. I don't believe the Eric that he turned into last year, just like myself. I don't believe that's real Eric. I want to believe that. Mike is my retarded older brother, and I will always love him, even when he's a retard. Like, last year was stupid, but he admitted that. And, like, I adore Michael, and I think he's got a really big heart. And I used to think Eric was the better twin, but I don't know anymore, because, like, what Eric had to him was very similar to me, like the internet. He, like, got involved adjacently through someone else that he was close to that was trying to get online, and then he fell into it when everything got taken. Like, he was normal like me, and then the worst things happened because of the internet. So, like, I empathize with Eric, like, because of that. I don't think so, probably. Decaf is, like, I have no problem. I wish, honestly, like, I just wish Decaf had not, like, invited me and then said what he said. Like, literally a day later, it sent the wrong messages, and I don't feel like he wants to hang out anyways, but I would. Oh my god, Scribbles, seriously, dude? What the fuck? I know there's some. Well, if you want to come stream with me, I'm a safe streamer to stream with. Billy is too, and like, I'm gonna be keeping to myself as well for the most part, unless people really reach out. Like Darren is another one I would go kick it with, but he's gone now. Maybe Daisy. I know I like Daisy a lot. I have her number. I hope it's the same number. I'll text her. She was super sweet. Like when I was in LA before I got that temporary shelter for a week or whatever, after the fucking attempt to check myself in where I was denied a bed and given a shelter instead. Not upset, but still like, I'm obviously not crazy enough to be crazy. Because I can't even get the mental health that I need care-wise. Like, oh, why wasn't I snapping when I should? I would, like, honestly, here's the thing. If I would have snapped before the trial, it actually would have legally given me a reason to continue it, and I didn't want to. It was too much. So, yeah, I wanted to check in. Also, I didn't have coverage for it. So, and now that I have DV status, like, actively in the state, I did get more access to it, but now I'm going south. So even though the caseworkers are, they could give me mental health care here, they're more focused on getting me to my doctors and stuff that I'm already established with in LA, you know? Oh, trust me, don't I know? The problem isn't on my side. The problem is I think it would probably, like, make him feel dumb because it's obvious that he had an ego about it. Because everything he talked to me about off camera, and then when he was, like, asking me to come out, I really thought he saw me differently. But it was pretty obvious by how he, like, said what he said in the chat the next day that he just wanted to look cool in front of the really stupid fucking whales. You know what? It's okay. Streamers are short. Streamers are short. You know who's not short? We have Billy John, me, Cheeto, and then fucking Blade. Well, Blade's Blade. He's his own category. Oh, and then one other. Oh, Base Surfer. People don't think Base is that tall. Base and Cheeto are about the same height. But it's totally cool, Scripps, because I'm always around dwarfs, and women are always shorter than me. Even men, mostly, actually. But yeah, Billy is actually probably the closest height-wise to me that I can think of that streams. Blade is taller. I only know Blade, though, because I met him once in Vegas. We can sandwich. I'll be the weird tall person in the middle. I don't give a fuck. I just want to, like, the invite is open. I'm a good, safe place for a stream. I'm a different person now after I got my piece, and I will go back to who I was, which was boring and just chill. And, like, as you see, people are still here when I'm boring. So I'm sure we'll all get views. I don't know if we'll get donos, but are you monetized, dude? You could definitely get fucking AdSense revenue. You know people will watch. They hate us. They love to make fanfics up about us. Like, it will be their fantasy to just lurk while they're banned. AdSense, AdSense, AdSense. Let's go. I'm just saying. And also, like, you might get hate donos for me. So, like, you can make money off that too. But also, like, I'm a safe person to stream with, and I'm not going to get us in trouble. And that's... I know my boundaries now and what mistakes I made when I was stupid on the internet, and I didn't realize it would get as bad as it did, and it got viral and clipped. Also, I'm not, like, homeless alone in my car struggling and not processing horrible traumas. So, like, I'm going to be more normal and more who I normally would be when I'm streaming, which is, like, boring. But also, like, still fun enough, you know? I know, you don't need them, huh, Scribs? Like, honestly, like, that's really the way to do it. And I had that until everything got taken, so I was stuck with this for a minute. Yeah, Janny, it was boring because it was horrible, and you were weaponizing my trauma and grief to, like, make money. Yeah, that's disgusting. Why would you admit to that? That wasn't acceptable. That was inhuman. Still, don't care if I was or wasn't boring. It wasn't your business to provoke more when I was already suffering, obviously, and, like, lost things that no one cared I lost, that were huge things that were my entire identity. I got fat too, and I've never been fat before. Everything about me was not me, and then you guys made sure that even online I looked like I wasn't myself by making fake abuse videos, and then literally twisting my abuser into someone who cared about my dog, even though they have had 2 orders over their threats to my dog. Yeah, the insanity. No, Janny, you're right. No, but you provoked me in a state of mania where I wasn't probably normally going to say those things. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. So speak less with that one. Like, God, Janny, like, what happened? Like, who have you been talking to since you haven't been talking to me? Someone that you've just decided that they're right, even though you've seen all the things I've been totally valid on? Come on, like, don't act like you didn't come talking to me differently, like you saw that I wasn't the bullshit fucker that I literally said I wasn't. Shut up. It was your clips. And then also, too, when I said what I said about my mom, I hadn't talked to my sister yet, and I really just believed Astra over her, and I shouldn't have, although my mom's still a piece of shit in different ways that had nothing to do with that. But my sister was literally like, mom's never said that. That never happened. And then when I said that and she didn't want me to go back with Astro, that was literally what got her the threats from her, was that. And I'm sorry if I'm saying a name. Sorry, it happened and it was worse than what I've ever said or done. Also, my stuff was behind the scenes, not meant to hurt anyone, and it's been twisted out of context. Again, I have proof of all the crimes that started first. And it wasn't me. And they're crimes. Also, like punching a window and like literally like, also, like I said, I got all the videos of people that want to tell me I'm the problem, but I had to protect myself and I do not spread those videos. But do I have them? Oh my God, yes. And then you know when I started learning how to do that? When my mom would just not give me the space. And it started right before I went back to Arizona. It was the day that she freaked out on me for crying about something that had nothing to do with her. It was valid. I went to somewhere thinking I had a new opportunity for real work. After all my medical issues caused me to lose normal jobs, I thought I found a new type of work. And it ended up just being someone that had a crush on me, even though they did pay me for the trip. But the point though is that like, yeah, it had nothing to do with her. Oh, hi, Edward. Why would I be mad? I wasn't mad. Okay, Rebel. Hi, Edward. But yeah, it's just the fact that you knew I wasn't in the right state of mind, and instead of like being human and respecting that I was not right and giving me space when I asked for it, you guys went harder. Like again, like I'm not proud of those things, and I know that I did make those choices, but also they were under extreme stress and I don't remember half of it, although I know what provoked me into it. And when I realized that I said it, like I said, the thing before, no, it's not Janny's fault. Janny definitely like, Janny, here's the thing. Janny's lucky I adore him. Even when he's been horrible to me. Because I've already told Janny everything. Like, he knows. And it wasn't like that bad. It was just that like he edged the pool with some of the worst of them. And that made the worst of them think that it was totally cool. And that alone was just its own power, you know? And even, no offense, Janny, but like look at how you and Gish were treated. Because you were at least my mods. You guys got totally burned for that. Which isn't, it's not right. And you guys were probably like, honestly, Janny, I think you were more team someone else that removed you than you were me. But Gish, I think, has always been very fair, and she got really burned for that. And I just defended the fuck out of her, and I will keep doing so. Janny, I found out exactly what happened with that. I hope you're defending her too. Sounds like some bullshit twist bullshit, and you should know better. I hope you're not contributing to that. No, not just you. It was a collective situation, and it was overwhelming, and I wasn't right in my mind, and you guys all knew that. The scribbles? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But, like, here's the thing. I blame content. Well, me being horribly traumatized was not content, and that was what people were going for. So, like, again, now that the head of the snake has been cut off, it's a lot more quiet in my life, and I love it. That was what I did. I knew it would happen, and this is what happened, and here we are. Again, these are things I didn't know literally like were for sure going to be given to me, or that I would be able to even promise these things. Also, like, remember who was trying to evade service and I figured out how to legally pull them out? I threw out a red herring, and sure as fuck did that not help them, because they thought they were safe. Because I'm 5 steps ahead of the game, because I have to be, and also like, my intuition has guided me this whole fucking way, and I had no proof or guarantee at the beginning, middle, or even the end. There was so much interference. I had no proof I would win anything, and I literally was the most scared about the family courts case. I mean, honestly, like I said, I think the civil courts case is already done and over. Like, as long as I want to continue it in LA, if I want to, like, no biggie. But I would need to do it fairly soon for them to do it like that. But the order was already granted on a digital case with no face of the person involved. Multiple services already attempted physically. Yeah, dude, it'll get restarted if I want to, but the civil courts were chill. Also, like, once I'm out of SAC, like, things will be more normal. I've never had anything like this in another courthouse in my life. And even, like I said, civil is really fucking redundant. Actually, Janny, someone that I know that you know would know best and would be fair and truthful told me exactly what happened, and I'm not going to tell you who, but you know, if you did know, you would know why I trust them. I'm only listening to them because I wasn't able to watch it all. Run with it, chat. Wait, what? Show butthole right now? No, I'm not on OnlyFans, and I don't show holes anyways. I do kind of want to I want to take VP. Look, I have a brand. Again, like, I was kind of intuitive about, like, when you know, the pirate the brand pirate, the tort criminal, Alex Mayers, stole my domains. Yeah, those were crimes before I ever reacted. And she was still being nice to me then, but I smelled the red flag. And that was when I went after my fucking trademark, before Q was trying to tell me how he was trying to take it. And before you guys took my .org, you retard. By the way, well, Alex took .net and .com. So that's fine. Also criminal and totally not hers to have, but that's only going to help me in the future. Same with Q. But like, damn, like, I didn't know that anyone was for sure going to go after the fucking trademark, but I knew I had to reserve that name. And it was intuitive. All of it was fucking intuitive. And ultimately at the end, I was right about all of it without realizing for sure if I was. Everything that I was hoping would happen if all these things went the way they went, they have. Again, it's in a new world of law that you can't really understand because it's not very common, and I was lucky to be in the state I was in with the evidence I'd already had saved. And then more, you know? Oh my god, Scribbles does not want to see my holes. Although Scribbles did say he would fuck me over fucking, what was it, Age of Beauty? I'm still pretty sure he wants his wife more, and that's totally valid. I don't want to fuck a bunch of random dudes either. Like, I told Eric he could touch my butt. And I even, like, look, I think Hep is with Sunflower, so it wouldn't even be like that if I was with him, but if he wanted to, I would still not even be sure if I wanted to fuck Hep. And I think Hep is hot as fuck. Okay, I'm not that type. Also, I'm still not, like, sure if I'm emotionally ready to get trustworthy physically with someone else after all that I've been through. I tried that with the Chad last year. Me and Aladdin did have fun. But you know, I want to really just feel like me again before I get comfortable with another body like that. I'm just being honest. Good, Scribbles, I believe you. Also, she can touch my butt though. Also, I love making out with girls for fun, but I do not like women like that. So no like downstairs action. Like, I'll make out with her. She's into that though. That's fun for me. Oh, I really want to hang out. Like, I want to just, like, I don't know, Scribbles, I know when I first fucking you came into the scene, I warned you about all this. I know you know I fucked. Did you sit back and you were like, oh shit, vegan was not kidding? And I really wanted to help everybody. I was mad at you when you went after Victoria though, because I felt like we were all getting targeted, and you two were just being nice to me, or at least you were just kind and said hi, and she just was just saying the skies weren't always yellow. You know, how dare you guys just do that? Just be normal people around me. Like, I'm not a person that I'm not allowed. You should be suffering for that. And then they did. They fucked with you guys. So, anyways, I know you get some of it. Yo, whoa, what the fuck? Whoa, you get a did you? Oh, Edward Kim, I love you. Oh my god, thank you, Edward Kim. Edward, okay, so I'm actually, so guess what? I'm almost out of the city. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. The base levels of all I had to do to get my life back, period, started here. It should be faster if I had the right support in my life, but you know, DV and coercive control and smearing and, you know, cowards, weak people that didn't have to suffer the way I did, that should have supported me more. That sucks. But luckily with the active stuff I have, I do have resources, and it's not fun and easy, but now that I have a whole DV team, like, it's going to be way easier. Also, like, a lot of stuff's already been, like, started, and, like, it will continue wherever I'm at, you know, if I need it to, and if not, I'll let it go, because I don't want to put energy into stupid shit. But, like, if people need to get handled, I have that power now, and it might not be now, it might not be tomorrow, and it probably won't be for another 2 months if I need to, but y'all should have just shut the fuck up with some of this shit, because I have, again, all these people trying to say I'm a criminal against them. I have all the proof in the world to say they provoked things criminally, very much so first. And when I finally lost it, it was still like behind the scenes, and it was like not like meant to hurt people. It was just me frustrated, which is also annoying, and I'm not proud of it, but like, I don't know, dude. Like, these people like gave me a perfect, like I said, the trademark, the LLC isn't really that big of a deal. You can get an LLC for a brand name in any state, but what I have is the trademark and common law proof, right? I'm literally the persona and the brand Vegan Patriot. And stealing that and trying to defame me is a literal tort law. Again, not an effective, scary, hardcore crime. It's just criminal enough to show that they're the criminal who started it, though. Like I said, I literally can just be like, look, this is my brand, and here's the proof. Because I just intuitively, I got my trademark right before Q was trying to claim that he took it, or was trying to. Q wasted money because I got there first, and they don't refund. Dumbass. That's a lot of money, too, by the way, to waste. What? Can I borrow that massage? Wait, what, Jenny? Wait, what? Oh, shut up, Jenny. Okay, someone got fucking Road Rash Gang as a membership. Yo, Claire, what's up, sweetie? Hey, Piggy V, nobody really cares that you breathe, so, like, there's that. I'm just gonna remind you, you don't matter. How's it feel? Anyways, continue not mattering because I care less. How does that really feel? Well, yeah, lie down. Thank you for stalking me with that sense. Okay. Where's your girl, dude? Like, is she out with you or is it just you in the house? Like, what are you doing? You were streaming. I saw you live, but I didn't, obviously I was live, so I didn't check in. What actual fucking time is it? Because I'm probably gonna go to bed soon. Fuck, it's 4. I'm gonna go to bed soon. But, and then Scribbles came in and I was like, do you want to kick it when I come down? Because, like, I just don't know who likes me and doesn't down there for real and who's gonna have some nefarious plan. I also don't know. Look, with Mike and Eric, I know them enough to know that, like, they're not gonna put me in a position of real danger and they would protect me for the worst of it. Also, though, they're content creators and they know drama can cause good content, and I think they would also let stuff go, and I can balance that. I also don't think they're gonna, like, really protect me the way that, like, I've seen Billy John do. Me and Nano were in the car one day. We were going to Whole Foods, of course, Billy. And this dude got out of his car and was, like, getting real aggressive. And, like, me and Nano were freaked out. Billy got out and he was, like, fucking all alpha. And, like, Nano started crying because it scared her. And so Billy's like, he's like, get the fuck away from this car. And the dude drove off. And, like, I wanted to see some fucking Billy beatdown action. But, like, Nano couldn't handle it. So Billy just backed off. But I don't want to live anywhere but my own spot. Scribbles, I'm sorry. If that's upsetting, just, like, I hope it's not, because, like, I never was interested in that. That's why when I lost my car, I knew I was going to be fucked. I don't like to be a burden or, like, anything to anyone else, because I know that my life is so crazy. It always was before this. And then with the targeting, I didn't want that on anyone, but also, like, I needed help for a while. But, like, I don't like that shit. So, like, trust me, I like you do you and I do me, and we kick it when we want to. That is healthy. That is called a friendship, or at least, like, respect and as people. So, like, when you want to kick it on your time and your, you know, enjoyment, and, like, we don't have to depend on each other, there's no power control thing with that, we're fine. And I like that. So, like, definitely, I mean, if you wanted me to ever come to your house, I don't know if you've been doxxed. I wouldn't dox it anyways. I think you have. But if I'm invited, I don't want to stay that long. Okay. Also, can Abby come? Do you guys like dogs? Abby is almost always with me. Also, like, where I'm going, I don't know if I'll have roommates. Base Scribbles. Also, like, where I'm going, like, it's like a shelter type base thing for now, and then probably permanent housing over time. But it's DV resource, so it's like I have an expedited, like, more. Okay, so basically the situation is, again, with, like, the DV stuff and the whole coercive control targeting and how the internet is even involved. I'm basically pushed to the front of, like, high risk vulnerable status, because literally, like, that's the intention of the crimes against me, are to make me vulnerable to the point where I'm destitute and not safe. Shut up, Janny. Shut up. Give it time. I ain't never fucking lived in nobody's house. People lived with me for free way too long. And then, wow, again, although it will be taken off my fucking debt record and I will not have the mark when I get to it, because I haven't. It was literally, I've never missed a car payment before. In fact, all I was doing was trying to get a piece of shit off meth. So, you know. No, Scribbles, you have nothing to worry about like that with me. And also, I reluctantly came to SAC for that one situation that ended up bad. And then I ended up back in Arizona because I had to be, because that's where my car got taken and I got stuck there. And that was when dude tried to force me into his bed. It was like, now that she can't drive off in her car and she has nowhere to go, I might as well sexually assault her mildly like a pig I am. You know, again, did I call the cops? No. You know. Edward, I would love to come visit you. What am I giving up? Your mom? Nah. New house, cool. Well, it's more like, just like stability, so I can get my shit started where I need to, and then I'll have my medical stuff already established. The biggest thing, though, is the psych wait list. I'm off of it. Therapy will come. I think I can actually get, like, literally, like I just looked it up. There's literally DV resources that are not government funded. They're third party. Well, they're government, like, there's some, government funded, but they're independent parties for domestic violence. And then they have all other funding for DV stuff. So, like, I can get into therapy, like, mental health wise, I think, without being on a wait list with a regular medical field. I don't want to go live with either of you guys. I'm sorry. I lived by myself for like over a decade. And I was the one who had people live with me. And only because I helped, and like I never treated anyone like I was treated when I had to live with people. I have never turned a power and control thing on people. In fact, I've had things taken, as we can tell, it was all on camera. In fact, I didn't try to play control card with him. I let him keep coming back, and he controlled my life and ruined it. So I'm not like that. But it's funny how, like I said, the sublet roomies, just talk to him. Also love both of them. Also, they're both not there because they were fighting with each other and over their own drama. Also, like, still cool with them. Had references from my old neighbors. Like, let's just keep going there. Yeah, no, I don't want to be in a position where I felt like when I was 18 and I left my mother's house, I was at peace because it was my life then. And not when her money is in control and it can hurt me because she doesn't actually act on it and mean what she says. I can't rely on that. And the reality is, like, some of my biggest traumas is relying on people. Because that's when people start to hurt you, is when you don't have the ability to help yourself. And they just have a mood, or they're like, you know, they feel like they deserve something that you don't want to give them, but it's their home. And their mood is valid because they felt like that. How dare you tell them otherwise and ask for boundaries and respect? Or like, how about like the fact that I was trying so hard to sleep on the couch? And even Nathan literally texted me and apologized about what he did the morning after, and it was still acted like it didn't happen. I have actually. Why do you think I want to flirt with his wife, dude? I've seen her and I think she's really pretty, actually. I just feel like I would relate with a normal female that's also adjacently, like, look, Scrib's wife is lucky she's not a mainstreamer, but she gonna get it. She gonna get it because her husband is being fucking targeted the way I am. Therefore, by proxy, she is as well. So, I don't think Scribbles is actually flirting either, sorry. I don't know what happened with you and Jen either, so I'm not gonna get into that. If I don't know enough about it, it's not my business. See how I differ from so many of you people? Imagine just trying to mind your own business. Or speaking on things you actually understand because you watched or you were experiencing it. I'm not that person, so here we are. I'm not gonna sit here. Ace man, are you fucking George Wallace? And I thought you were a homie. George, why are you being rude? George, I know you were Team Vegan the whole court case. I saw you. I saw you and I love you for that. I know it's you. I know it's you. What, do we know her name? Is it okay if I know her name? Or like maybe do I just call her Scribble's wife? Can I call her, Violet? I don't know. Can that be her screen name? Unless she's already doxxed, which I'm not going to participate in, and I don't want you to dox unless she is okay with that. But I was wondering. No, what, me? Is he? I don't know. He might not even be talking about me, but no. In the ex's chat, dude, no. George was one of the very few OGs that was literally like, dude, vegans got this in the bag. You're a piece of shit. It was pretty funny to watch, too, because I'm like, dude, if George is fucking like that, I don't know. Oh, okay. All right, well, can I call her that? Like, anyways, my point is, I'm kind of looking for some girls that get it, that are chill. Also, you're okay so far. I don't know you like that. It doesn't need to get that deep. I just need people that I don't feel like are trying to hurt me and are going to have normal content and also don't want to get arrested. Those are big deals. Let's not, you know? Also, like I said, like Eric and Mike, I think, are also kind of afraid of the cop stuff, so they're going to be pretty vanilla as well. But again, not asking you to hang out with them if I do with them. I'm more interested in hanging out with Mike than Eric because I missed him. And then, like, I feel like I remembered like the old Mike and I missed the little soft teddy bear that was like my big retarded brother. But also like Eric was like the one that like really made me feel like he got a lot of what I was going through. And then I know that both of us went through hell, so like I want to just be on normal terms with Eric again. I don't know, I've seen a lot and I don't know who really means what they've said, so who knows. Script's perfect, and like neither does Billy. I almost guarantee you, like, if you guys really want to make content for fun, like, literally just come to WeHo. Like, we'll be there. And then also, like, as soon as I get my other stuff, like, back on the ground, I'm going to probably stream less again. But for now, I know Scribbles and Mike don't like each other. And look, I've seen Mike at his bad side, too. But you guys have seen me at my worst side. And if everyone deserves a second chance, because patterns are what define people, not bad, isolated incidents. And we were all going through a lot publicly. And our worst sides came out because we didn't know how to handle it. I know that's exactly what happened with them, although they look different than I did when they lost it on camera, but... wait, who? Oh, Jen. Okay, let's not talk shit. I don't have a problem with Jen, although she's completely wrong about me a lot, but she tries. Look, anyone who's actually trying to be a person and at least respects me when they speak to me, even if they don't really agree with me and that's not valid, I don't need to attack them, and I don't want them attacked in it. I don't know what happened with Jen and Scribbles, and I don't want to get it. It doesn't need to be a thing in my verse, you know what I mean? No offense. I like you guys enough both, and look, honestly, Jen's pissed me off more than you, Scribbles, but she's tried to be a person with me, and I do have respect for that. So, like, if we can keep the drama like that out of my chat, unless there's obviously the same person targeting us and we are just venting like me and Victoria, like, I'm not going to contribute to that, you know? That's all. It sure is, Scribbles, but Jenny would know, wouldn't he? Pirate. Asshole. You know, if I wasn't saying this to you out loud, I would be much more silently trying to hurt you back, but I'm not. So sorry, Jenny, if you're taking this offensively. I love you, and that's why I'm only really saying this, because, you know, I'm not going to give you my cards if I want to actually win anything, because that's how I lose things. I better underestimate it. I win a lot of things in life by acting as dumb as people let me look. I know, Scribbles, but like, you have to understand, like, that was at the end of my shit, and I was only focused on not dying. I know that it probably wasn't that apparent, especially since I wasn't even live most of the time. I only saw things when I was like, what's going on, who's on, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's evident, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was pretty distracted. I didn't really see what the depths of any of it were. Like I said, even the Gish thing. Like, now that it's someone very credible, that I absolutely without a doubt trust and is fair and knew what really happened and paid attention, told me what really happened with Gish, I was already like silent about it because I didn't know. Because I'm not like y'all, you know? You see the difference here? I don't do what you guys, not you, Scribbles, but I don't sit around and like pretend to like know people's realities. Like, it doesn't work that way. In fact, if I have no idea, I will only say that. Good, Jenny. Hey, Jenny. Jenny, are you okay? You okay? Suck my balls. I will send you green shit to your house on. Know where you live. Sorry. I don't know, because I wasn't paying that much attention. You guys talk amongst yourselves. That is clueless. Like, I don't know, actually. Just like with the Gish thing, but now that I got someone that I know without a doubt was unbiased and fair, and I trust, telling me the real details, because no one was giving me more than like fragments. No, I believe that, Scribs, and I saw Q like postings too. I just didn't really absorb it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was around watching it, but I didn't really pay that much attention, so I don't actually know what the real story is. It's not really my business to pry either. Like, Edward Kim. Well, Edward, that's probably because A, sometimes, yeah, it is gibberish, but also B, other times, I think you're just used to like 30-second clickbait that's biased and not factual. So people don't like to really unpack reality these days. They call facts and like breaking things down and like context, they call that babble. So, I mean, you should probably pay attention to the more succinct posts. The babbly ones are definitely babble, because they're me losing my shit and also over it, and then I typo, and then I just have run-ons. But like, the concise ones are actually pretty easy to read. It's just that people don't want to really read a full picture of reality. They don't. I know, Scribbles, honestly, like, I have no idea. I have not a fucking clue. I just know there was drama. Just like I said, I know with Gish there was drama, and I wanted to help. I know, you know, I tried to reach out at the beginning. I tried to warn you. Yeah, I don't not believe or believe anything. I'm just like neutral with both of you guys. Like, so like, that's how I feel about it, unless I were to know more and see more myself. But I'm not going to dedicate, it's not a priority and it's not my business. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'd rather everybody not bash each other in here. You can speak your truth though, and so could she. You know what I'm saying? But like, mostly I've had mods that literally hate each other, and like, it doesn't always go well, but I do for a while at least. Josephus! Hi, sweetie! Oh, my migraine went away too after I took the Excedrin. I sure fucking do, Edward, yes I do. Actually, Philly, I think you know nothing, so there's that. Bye, Philly. Well, you should, yeah, you have to save everything, and like, that's like what I said. Like, people said I was stalking. No, I went with instinct every time things felt wrong, and I recorded it, including a fucking admittal to a false report that I didn't even believe was false. My ex told me that was one thing they didn't do to hurt me, and then I found out this spring I had it the whole time. I just didn't watch it, or I didn't absorb it. When they admitted that they baited me into doing what I did. Although, yes, I technically did do it. It wasn't a normal thing. It was still a disorderly, not an assault, even though it was called that when the false report was made. It was not for fear, and I didn't scare him. These were stated. It was literally out of revenge for me doing something I didn't do. That is literally a manipulation of the justice system. That is a crime. That's probably good, Scribbles. Honestly, you probably should. I mean, like, honestly, I don't care how mad anyone is. There's certain points where I'm like, why go that low with people? Like, I've said this. So many people really do be thinking they have some weird upper hand with me. Bitch, I saved the evidence today. They went after me, all of it. All of it. And I did things that they didn't know. Like I said, I have videos of people that literally were not taking normal, healthy communication to fuck off and leave me in my own bubble while they were freaking out. They didn't take it like they had any real respect. So, like, they committed the crimes and provoked first, but they think that I don't have that. So, like, trust, save everything. Absolutely. And like I said, mine was all intuition. If something felt dark, I did. If people would send me things that looked dark and then I wouldn't be paying attention, I would try to walk away from it, but then it would be so concerning that I had to go watch a little bit more. And then that was how I started to really realize how bad I was getting. And then I was like dying inside until my family and Purple's family got fucked with. And that was when I first got up. But then I started to just be like, bitch, I want to be alive. And so I was like, why am I feeling like I'm dying? I've never wanted to be alive. I literally didn't care before. I don't know. Scribbles, I mean, like, I'd be down to check it out in real life. Like, honestly, I'll say it if it looks like it's me. I mean, I just don't know right now, so I'm not gonna sit here. Why no Billy? Why are you saying no Billy? I've literally been talking about Billy forever tonight. Like, what are you talking about? He has a fucking infused pre-roll saved for me. I just checked, like, a few weeks ago to see if he still had it. When I was hoping to go down even sooner. But, yeah, no. Definitely planning on hitting up Billy and kicking it. And I hope when Andy's available. Although I don't have my car to go get Andy anymore. That sucks, because that was fun. Andy preserved my glasses so politely. Oh my god, that night for the fucking documentary though, like, I literally left my this phone, in the hotel, and everybody but Billy, the producer, and Andy were in the room. Andy was sloshed. And I looked at Billy and I'm like, it's okay, he'll protect my phone. The first fucking dude, we shut the door, we're all outside, and we hear this immediate scuffle. And I'm like, fuck, it's gotta be Billy wrestling Andy for my phone. Sure as shit, we opened the door, and Andy had just thrown the phone across. And, like, Billy was, like, mid-arm trying to save the phone. Okay, and so basically after that we left, but I forgot my glasses there. And so, like, Andy fucking saved them. He cleaned them. And when I went to pick him up, he was so caring and was like, Vegan, I saved these just for you, and they're perfectly ready to go. And I'm like, Andy, I needed those. It was so sweet, honestly. I've already talked about this too. Like, Janny, you should go back to the beginning. Like, I'm not rehashing. I'm not looping. Thank you so much. I've already been very clear how I feel about Priya, and I hope that she actually, like, gets over whatever got in her ear and goes back to being nice to me like she was for the majority of the time. I hope she realizes I'm not a foe, and I'm actually very supportive of her and Billy's relationship. In fact, that's why I have so much respect for him. So, like, I don't know, but also, like, do not come assault me twice in the same area. But, like, also, like, I'm not... Billy literally said he wouldn't have been upset if I had called the cops. Did I? No. Billy loves her. She's been through a lot, and I think people got in her ear. And unlike my ex, who was already mentally unstable, people took a little bit longer to get in her ear. So I have empathy for that. And I also, out of respect for both of them, that is why both me and Billy took our cameras down. She is not a streamer. She did not need to have that moment exploited. And I didn't either, but, like, I'm a streamer at least, you know, same Billy. But anyways, you guys have no bounds with people even when they're not related to the fucking actual streamers, like, directly. Like, they're not trying to be, you know, like, let's just talk about how Purple and his sister were talking, or Purple's dad, and, like, I accidentally left the fucking door open and you guys still clipped that. Don't you think it's a choice at that point when I'm, like, not realizing things are going to go the way they are and you guys could just be better? No, I don't like meth. I don't like meth. And honestly, like, I think I'll probably get back on my Adderall, like, soon, but I'm not probably... I literally didn't use it in the winter in Arizona a lot of times, unless I was super exhausted. But, like, what I use it for mostly... Okay, so it was diagnosed because my POTS condition is often misdiagnosed as ADHD. Now... Again, I have all the documents because all the specialists I've talked about this, there is research on it. Yes, when you have the kind of POTS I have, where your blood pressure just drops or it's stagnant, you need a blood flow, and yes, stimulants will help. That was kind of what kept me from fainting when I didn't have my meds, was the meth, and I don't like that. I don't like that, and I've said how disgusted I was by that. But it was also circumstantial, and, like, as soon as I left, you know who. And then it got colder. Like, I took a ton of caffeine a few days out here when me and Purple were working in the summer, but Purple drove, so I wasn't dangerous to drive. So if I literally couldn't sit up straight, it was okay. And he did a lot of the work, actually. in the summertime. He did the heavy lifting, like stuff I wouldn't have otherwise been able to do if I hadn't have had my meds and had to do it myself in the heat. So like I got through it, but it was horrible. And now that it's cool out and I haven't been on it for a while, like meth dillos. Okay, how about this? What's your girl drink? Because I want some tequila and vodka. Although I fucking finally drank recently the other night for Thanksgiving with Purple and his family, and like, oh my god, by the way, that was such a normal moment. It was so much fun. Oh my god, it was so normal. That's all it was normal. And like no one was worried about like anything but was already in front of us. I haven't had moments like that for such a long time. And so like I try to drink 2 seltzers, and like I hate my body and my medical issues because I'm 35. I have tried to party forever. Oh, all right. Well, here's a starter for the record. I'm a little out of shape with drinking since I quit dancing, you know, that's okay. But when I was dancing, I could go up to like 12 shots. And actually, people literally thought I was on 1 or 2 until shot 11 or 12. And then 11 or 12, I just black out. So actually, I don't know what I'm pretty sure I get drunk way faster now though. So there's that. But also, I usually am pretty good at handling my alcohol. Like, I don't. Vasodilators, yeah. So vasodilator, you mean constrictors? No, honey. No, my blood. Okay, so with POTS, what it is you don't want a dilator at all. You want a constrictor, which is why the Adderall is so important. And then also, you don't always need that in the winter, at least with my type of POTS. Again, POTS is idiopathic, so there's all different reasons for people having it. Mine is like neurological. It makes my regulatory system not function, and then there's a chain reaction of events. The first issue is that typically, your blood pressure is typically too low, but then when you're really episodic, and that's what I learned when I had my wrist thing on, I have that weird high blood pressure. So like in the wintertime, if I'm episodic and I've taken a stimulant, I literally, like a normal amount of stimulant, by the way, that can boost me up into a level of isolated hypertension, which is it's circumstantial to the episode, but it's one of the most dangerous kinds. It's the systolic on top or diastolic. I always mix them up. Bottom number is higher than it should be, and the top number is normal or lower. Normally it's correlated high, bottom low, high, but it's kind of reverse with isolated. And now that's a sign that there's something very inconsistent with my body fighting itself ultimately during an episode. And those, when I get like that, like it starts when my brain fog gets really bad, and I'm like to the point where I'm like literally like can't remember what I'm saying. I know you guys have seen that, whether you've applied it or not to my actual reality, but I've said this. When I start to get numb and dumb mentally, and I try and I can't even finish a sentence that I'm excited to have a conversation for, like I'll literally be like, I can't remember what I just said. When I get to that level, or I'm like, what is happening right now? Like it gets like that. Then I pass out and I wake up. When I'm dizzy like that, I have the isolated hypertension, but then when I wake up, my vitals are normal, but I have an excruciating headache. So Adderall actually, so what heat does, which is why the heat's so bad for me, is it vasodilates. So what that does is okay, again, like this was how we were taught in college, like with fucking anesthesiology and reading vitals. So basically, like, think of a straw, one fat and one long and thin. Okay, you put the same amount of fluid into both. Well, because there's less pressure on the big straw, the liquid will pool more. So what heat does is it vasodilates everyone's blood vessels. So your blood's automatically, the pressure is lower. Also, like heat, weed will lower your blood. So what I'm saying is, like, a dilator is the last thing dilator is the last thing I need. But also, like, in the wintertime, I really try to not use any meds if I can get through the first few weeks. Wait, hold on. Let me catch up here. Sorry, I was finishing one conversation. I believe you can drink more than I can. I have not been a big drinker since I stopped dancing, but I did drink a lot during the chicken era, although not that much. I used to have to get through dancing. Like, I literally hated the emotional fucking, like, giving my shits to people that I wanted to not be talking to. Like, I would have to be drunk for that. Also, it's way more fun to dance drunk. But yeah, no, I used to, like, because I would dance regularly, especially during season, so I would be wasted, like, constantly. And I know that the cops, because like I said, Scottsdale PD, they would go in there. That's why I love that club, Skin and Bull. It was Babe's was the first one, and then Babe's turned it into Bones when Todd bought that one too. But Skin is the breadwinner. Skin is a club that everybody goes to that is out of town and has money, and it's just the club. And it's tiny, so you don't have a ton of competition. And then the cops are always monitoring it, so no one's a fucking whore. And if you go to a club where there's no whores, you don't have to compete with whores. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I was in the spot to do what I like to do, which is hustle and talk about politics, business, and stupid nerdy things. And then occasionally show my ass and give a lap dance or two. I made $2,500 one night talking about Bernie Sanders in a champagne room where I never took off my clothes. Should we just start there? That was actually, but I didn't make as much as some girls, but I also didn't make promises, and I didn't put myself in a position of like feeling like I was exploiting myself too much. Although it was just like constantly being around a bunch of dudes I was never going to go home with, and I didn't care about. Like it would, I had to drink a lot, but I don't drink like that obviously, and haven't for years. So yes, Edward, correct. Am I making up my own questions? I don't know what I just asked. I'm actually trying to help explain real physiological you know, situations. I know if you didn't go to college for it, you're gonna tell me I'm dumb, but the reality is I'm gonna agree. Also, like all the other things that I've told you that I have facts on that you want to tell me are fake, have been proven also not fake. So there's that. You should probably start there with the patterns of me actually being right when I say I'm right, because I don't talk about, like, did you just see how I handled that about Jen and fucking Scribbles? I think I even like Scribbles more than Jen, and I don't hate Jen at all, but I want it to be fair because I don't know what the fuck is going on between them. So like, maybe be normal and not obsessively telling me my reality when I don't do that to you, you weird fucks. It doesn't work this way. Like, stop. Anywho, want scripts? Okay. See, having a hypertensive crisis on stimulants can lead to clogged arteries, and yeah. Well, so here's the thing too, is that I used to party so hard back in the day because I was in my early 20s and late teens, and it was just like a vibe. Also, I was really rebellious, and I was so over my mom's bullshit, and I didn't realize it like that on that level then, but like I partied really hard, and I also hung out with my group of friends that also had toxic family situations, and we all kind of just like hung out and smoked weed in my friend's garage, or we would just get really drunk and shit. And like, no, I was not the one that did like the spice all the time, and my face did not turn blue, but some of my friends were dumb, and it was all of us like literally escaping family trauma. I'm not kidding now that I realize it. I mean, I guess we kind of knew that at the time, but it was like our safe space. And then my mom would just like accuse me of doing things. We were smoking weed, kicking it in a garage, doing nothing dangerous. I was 19 and 18. Of course I was fucking my ex. Wham. But like, is that really that bad, Mom? I'm like 18, 19. Don't be telling people I'm doing drugs I'm not doing when I'm not doing them. And that was when I started doing them. So I partied a lot, and then when I started dancing, it became kind of like a necessity. I don't know who Mitch is, no, but I feel like I've heard that name. I don't think that's likely, Joe. And I hope that you actually like believe me there. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm not your doctor. I'm just saying that's not common. Hi Mark. So like, I feel like, well, wait, you have POTS, or I thought you had Lyme that was like, I thought you had Lyme disease. Oh yeah, dude, and I made all that. That was all me. That was all me. And then even what's crazier is I literally like spent, okay, so I made way more than I ended up leaving Ohio with, but that was like the plan the whole time when I danced. I worked my management job in the morning, I went to college every other day, and then at night, the nights I worked management, I would dance. So like, and in Ohio, it's not like it is, especially the club I went to in Ohio, it wasn't just dances, it was like literally like a destination location. So people from PA or like, you know, the border areas would like, they would come to this specific. Also, I found out one of my favorite DJs bought this club, and I'm so excited about that. I loved Mario too, but oh my god, Mitch Lucker, he lived behind my, or he died. His grave is behind my old house in Costa Mesa. Oh my god, me and my best friend, well, one of my old roommates that I also paid all the bills for, one of my best friends, one of my bros, he ended up like moving back to his mom's in Clovis, but like he came to visit me in OC, and we went and saw Mitch Lucker's grave that day. It was so cool. He was like dying. He's like, you live right in front of Mitch Lucker's. And like, okay, and like literally like cool. I was talking, I don't even know. Okay, like I think that the drummer in Story So Far is gorgeous. Like I'm into like darker skin and like brown eyes. And Parker's cool, but he's kind of like Tyler Posey, where I'm like, I think you're the male version of me. But I don't know that much about the band members. So, but how did I know him? Because I love fucking Scene Kid shit. That's Scene Kid. It's called Suicide Silence, and I'm a millennial of the social media era. Come on, Scribbles. Hello. Have you seen my old pictures with all the piercings on my face? Of fucking course I know Mitch Lucker. Oh, really? Yeah, I did. Joe has facts. You know Mitch Lucker? Wait, what? You knew him? You knew him, not know him. What the fuck? Dude, okay, so actually, so check this. Like, I was actually just breaking this down for Purple because, you know, Purple's a little older than me. I don't know actually how old you are, Scripps, but I'm imagining you would just know these people more just because it's like probably like proximity close to you where you grew up. Wait, hold on. Who knows? Wait. How did I know him? It was just music. I didn't know him personally. I mean, I do know a few musicians though, but not like that. Like, it's not like that. Andy Dick, I guess, is the biggest clout I have, which I still think is just Andy as a streamer. Andy basically should have been a streamer, but it didn't exist. So he's basically one of us. What? Well, so, okay, check this. So, like, Korn is from Huntington and Bakersfield. And I knew a girl that knew the Millionaires, and then the dude from Broken Side used to try to get me to go out to New Mexico, but, like, that was weird. I was getting Purple into like how, okay, so what I see is when social media became mainstream, which is right when I was just getting into middle school, prepubescent, like I said, core developmental stages. I also still was developing at the right time to see the very end of the non-digital era transform into what it is now. So like when you have like fucking, God, who created e-girls? The early MySpace dinosaurs, my age group. Okay. And then you had bands like fucking Millionaires and Broken Side, and they were horrible crumbcore and awful trash, but they were amazing. And then you had like Attack, which is where I was crowd surfing in Attack, and I fell through because they're assholes in Attack, and they, like, I was all kicked. But like my best friend, like, he fucking went into the wall of death, same show. He broke a rib, not kidding. Like, fuck Attack, but also, let's go. Also, like, Sum 41 crowd, totally respectful, did not let me fall. Interesting. But yeah. Was he recently? I think Andy's really famous and has done a lot in his life. What the fuck? Okay, so that's crazy. Okay, so did you know that my strip club in Ohio, the owner of the club then, I believe, well, he was connected. Okay, so Marilyn Manson's dad was like really connected with a lot of the dancers, and he would like literally, his close dancers, he would take them to shows with Manson in it. And then my great uncle actually went to high school with Manson. I mean, Ohio's got some stuff, like I grew up in Ohio, Abby, but like it was crazy because this chick that I was like my best friend's like, she's really gorgeous, like local Cali girl, totally a Cali girl, totally too young and annoying, and thinking her beauty was like, I hate people like that. She was obviously very vain, and that was her number one focus. I don't hate her, but she wasn't someone I would have kicked it with if my best friend wasn't cool with her. But she knew fucking like the Millionaires and shit like that, and she kicked it because she was a little younger than me, like my sister's age. But like that was the age to like, if you were in the area and you knew musicians like that, which was so cool about Warped Tour. I literally got to know a lot of people that were on tour in those bands, but I didn't get to know them hardcore. But then we also had like our local bands, like I don't know if you ever went to Warped, but like Warped used to be, at least in Ohio, I'm pretty sure it was like everywhere. Local bands would get voted in, and all my favorites like Bonk and Implexus and fucking Trendy, they would be front stage for the local bands. So anyways, I'm really into that shit. I haven't Scribbles. If you and your girl want to make me a playlist, like maybe she'll be a little more in tune because she's a girl, I don't know. Maybe you guys can make me a playlist and I'll see where Broken. Oh my god, the pig squeal. And then like fucking hardcore dancing was so cringe, and I never did it, but it was a thing. Also, Scene Kids and Emo Kids, not the same, look the same though. Quite different. Scene Kids partied. Emo Kids sat at home and cut, just saying. Also, they listen more to Hawthorne Heights. Scene Kids listen to Broken Side, Bring Me the Horizon, post-hardcore. I'm okay with all of it though, but that was also part of the whole, like, you know. Let's see if I can do this here, mod, so that should work. I can't click it from this app though. Let me see where I'm at. I don't know if I want to use this phone. Okay guys, I'm actually going to bed soon, so sorry, not sorry. I'm literally going to go to bed soon, but let me see where we're at right now. I'm going to see if I can click that link, Scrubs. Now I'm going to check it out on this phone, see if it goes anywhere. I don't know if it'll work. It should, it just doesn't show up as a link on here. You dye your hair every day is obviously, no I don't. This is just really good. Abby hella saturates even the yellow strands. Pet stain. But it was like gonna get wasted. I wasn't gonna, look at how long, where did she go? She got there. The pink has lasted on her through 3 or 4 washes since I put this on her, and it's hardly faded. This shit ain't gonna go away, and it covers up the yellow, and 365 is going to fix it as soon as I get to him, which won't be too long from now. I think he can actually pick me up from LA. He's offered to before. I don't even think I need to get a ride down there. Oh, Joe, I'm not that smart. I'm just not an idiot. And like, look, I was the retard that had to kick ass in AP. Like, and also, like, I couldn't handle my AP courses that were science at the end. Like, chemistry and physics, like, I liked regular chemistry, but I had to demote myself to regular. Like, I'm not that smart. I'm actually just really nerdy, and I'm pretty fucking, like, 50-50. Like, I was literally tested left brain, right brain. So, as I am creative, I'm also as logical, like, by statistical, like, measurement, technically. And Kent State literally told me how rare that was, too. Which was interesting, but actually makes sense, because I'm kind of like, I'm a woman and I get woman things, and I'm definitely a woman at the core. But I also mostly spend my life with dudes, so I get how dudes think and I understand them a lot too. You know, and I also prefer groups of dudes to groups of females. I like women like one-on-one more, you know what I mean? Because there's less petty gossip groupthink, and women tend to be groupthink and low IQ, mindless, like, hello, look at the Carterverse hags. You know, how they came at me. It's almost like they don't have minds, and they just go with whatever is fun and trendy and makes them feel powerful when they feel so unpowerful otherwise. I'm sorry, I'm being real. We know that I'm not wrong. Alright, I'm gonna smoke one more cigarette and I'm going to fucking bed. Oh, yeah, well, okay, and look, like, oh yeah, that was what I wanted to do. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. Hold on, Scribbles, I want to click that link and see if it goes anywhere. I don't know if it will! We shall find out. Where did it go? There we go. Let's see what we got here. What is this? Oh. Isn't this your backup channel? Or is this where you got your name? I can't tell if this is your backup channel or not. I know you have a backup channel. I'm already subbed to it, so it must be your backup channel. Oh, it is your backup channel. But you have your main still, right? I've seen both of them. I agree. Let's see. I agree. Let's see if it hits. Now, this would be good with mushrooms. And, like, I really love my hallucinogenics. I will trip on mushrooms if you guys want to trip on mushrooms with me. Just, like, let's hang out a few times, because, like, I'm very aware of mushrooms and how I act with them, although I can control it very well. I used to pole dance upside down on mushrooms. That was weird, but I did it, and it was okay, but it was weird. It was really weird. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, my VP meme dog's backup channel also has its own things hiding in private on there too. But this isn't private, but I'm saying, I get it. Hell yeah, Claire, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Okay. Yeah, this is the shit, this is like mathcore. This is definitely more like mathcore. This is what my guy friends would really be into, that I was like, this is good. But I like, I really liked melodic hardcore, which was like an Akron thing at the time of growing up for me, which was like, they would have really heavy breakdowns, and then they would have like cellos and violins and like melodies. The same screamer would sing. Invokes, I don't know if you've heard that album. I played it a lot. It got me through this whole trial in ways I can't even describe. The Deus Ex Machina shit, that was the name. Invokes, dude. This hits. This is more bro version of what I like, though. I like slightly more, like I said with, like, Deus Ex Machina, like, come on in. I didn't even know how Savage Henry hit me so hard. Yeah, this is, like, grindcore fucking, like, yeah, this is definitely more dude math metal, but I dig it. I mean, I would vibe. I probably wouldn't get super ham, like, in a pit with this, though. You're gonna see my boobs today? Well, yeah, I know I lost weight, but the boobs aren't as small as they were before I got fat, so at least that, like, got lucky. Yeah, well, older stuff is, like, okay, also, like, are you into, like, so I really like the mid-90s to late 90s and early 2K punk and post-punk scene, because I think the pop-punk scene started around the mid-90s. I really like the in-between post-punk garage type, like before digital stuff became a thing. Like, you have like Save Today, who's much more like alternative, but then you have like Jawbreaker. I fucking love Jawbreaker. And then even like early Goo Goo Dolls, before they went mainstream, they're definitely post-punk in a weird hybrid era. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and then things turn into alternative and other things in the 90s, but then you had like MySpace change, any kind of metal or punk, and also hip-hop too, but I'm gonna check this out more, like, when I get a chance. Oh shit, what did I just do? Let's see if there's more. Which one is it? Okay. Death Vader. Dude, Scribbles. All right, we seem to have adjacent taste in music, and I need a show buddy. And if Billy can't go with me, like, maybe I'll ask Turbs, but also like I don't think he likes white girl music or white boy music like that, because he was like laughing. I was gonna see if he wanted to go to see Story So Far when I was gonna go down a couple months ago, and I didn't end up going. But like he was like, that's some white girl or that's some white kid shit. I'm like, boy, it's good. Yikes. I need a show buddy, because every time I go to shows alone, which I totally do, I always get swarmed by dudes, and then it gives me anxiety, and that's annoying. Also, like, I will go to pop punk shows alone because they're like a vibe that is much more safe than like metal shows. I don't feel like I really fit in unless I'm with a group and just chilling. Otherwise, I stick out like a sore thumb and don't know anybody, and people are like weirded out like why I'm there. And I've been to a few metal shows, but I haven't, like, I normally would go to pop punk shows by myself. And even still, those are when you get like the retard, you know, millennial dudes that are like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And it's like, oh my god, you just spilled alcohol on my favorite shirt. And like, vibe ruined, you know? Nothing predatory or horrible, it's just like annoying. And so I don't really like, I like to go to shows though, period. I will go to a show alone if it's the right subgenre. Thank you. Well, also I've been sleeping more, and my boobs are hidden now. All right, so check this. I don't know if you've listened at all to this, but I know the chat has listened to it, but since we're talking about stuff like this, like, literally, like, this is my favorite band, and this was, like, my high school's age group. These guys were, like, in their, like, college era, but we had, like, 2 generations of high school prior, which would have been about 8 or 6 years prior to me being in high school. Bonk was good, and then Trendy was in the middle, which is, like, my older cousin's age, and then Plexus was my age group, but Trendy had just expired, and they split up like right before I got into high school. I literally went to their last show, and it was supposed to be all of them. It was just Aaron. I love Simeon Soul Charger though, but like, yeah, oh my god, please be my show buddy sometimes. Not all the time, I'm not needy like that. I just, like, that's one thing I like really just like I need a show buddy for. And like, I'm sure Billy will go with me on occasion. He actually used to have me go to shows all the time. Like, he would invite me to them, and then other stuff would come out. I remember wanting to go to a couple with him, but I think they were more hip-hop shows. But, like, whoever he was connected to, and like, WeHo, you know? But my music, I need a buddy. I don't give a fuck. This is great. I don't have to know the words. I don't have to crowd surf. I will literally vibe to it, though. It's weird how metal, like, it's just... Well, honestly, like I said, like, slashers and metal I used to pass out to. I was at Warped Tour at a Norma Jean, it was Cuyahoga Falls after the amphitheater got demolished by that microburst. Yeah, so that was the summer I fucking got really sick, because at Blossom, which is Falls, where they had Warped Tour, you have 2 stages up, and then down at the bottom of the fucking pavilion, that was where Norma Jean was, and I couldn't, like, get up the hill because hills fuck me up. It's altitudes and angles and, like, positional, postural, or the static tachycardia. So anyways, I literally passed out to a Norma Jean show. That ain't normal. They are high energy, and they're one of my favorite bands in the whole universe. I just realized I've seen Norma Jean, and I didn't realize it was only a Warped Tour though. I really want to go to a regular Norma Jean show. Dude, do you ever fucking listen to like Mushroom Head though? They're Ohio too, actually, but they never, like, they were too similar to Slipknot, although they are quite different. They're one of my favorite bands, but the band members are pieces of shit, and I think that's why they never took off. But my one of my best friends, my childhood horse girl best friends, her big brother was he made the masks for the vocalist in Mushroom Head, but I've never seen Mushroom Head live, and that kills me. They also never come out west. Why? Anyways, literally everyone should love Mushroom Head if you like Slipknot, but also those are Gen X and Boomer bands, so, you know, still. Well, actually, technically, I would say Mushroom Head's a little younger than Slipknot, technically. Like, they hit a slightly younger audience, but anywho. Okay, so I'm gonna do Invokes, because check this. This is what I mean by girl versus dude, and it's gonna be off the same album, same, like, literal fucking, like, exact band, but Invokes, like, we liked, the girls did, we really liked fucking, we liked the more, like, emotionally based songs. So this one's Come On In, and, like, it's really, this album changed my life this year, even though I've loved it forever. I didn't even get into the band, like, that they made after Billy died, because, like, Billy died, I think he was a fucking, I think he was a guitarist, but anyways, so Malone was the vocalist. He's a beautiful singer, and he's an amazing screamer. Like, he had both down pat, and he's really hot. Also, like, really short. Also, like, I remember being in high school, like, oh, look at that hot older guy. Also, he's really good at making music. Anywho, so Come On In is about a bitch who, like, basically, like, nobody is listening or paying attention, and then she kills herself. bitch music, right? Also one of my favorites, but also so why I was like literally like, dude, I'm just gonna die. And that was like the night I came back to God and the Deo Ex Machina thing came out, because Deo Ex Machina is the album that I love with all the songs on it, but Come On In is a really good example of like a female version of metal, and it's much more melody based. And then you have Savage Henry, and it never hit, but I remember being in the pit of the Robin Hood when I was young, and like that was the dude banger, and I was like, I didn't get it, I didn't listen to the words, but holy fuck did that get me through this year. I'll show you why. I'm not gonna play like all of it, but here, let's see, Deo Ex Machina right here. Okay, so Come On In, just like hear the difference real quick. I'm gonna speed it up too, so we don't have to listen to it forever, but I just want to show you the difference. Like there is a difference. We'll put it on speed so nobody has to listen to it forever. But you can tell, like this was a girl song, and the guys loved the song. I ended up getting into this year only. Like I've heard it forever. Steady Your Heart, Baby, This One Might Hurt. It's talking about a loss of someone you love and you don't realize where they're going until they're gone. Emo girl, Lana. This is sped up. Now, this is what the girls loved back in the day. Steady Your Heart, Baby, This One Might Hurt. My best friend got that tattooed on her arms. I wanted to, I never did though. Do the artsy thing and die so that someone else will be there to find you. The best surprise is on the unprepared. Reality keeps us distant. No, you can't. Okay, check it out though. And we're not listening to all that, but that's like the sound of that one. That was the girl song. Now check this. This was the dude song. I never got into it, but when I got fucking mad and I got on my fucking shit with the court shit, it was because my little sister, my mom, and my grandma and my dad were stressed. And then Purple and his dad. And even with the Ashley and the fucking Nathan shit, they didn't deserve that either. I was mad. I was fed up. Now check out the lyrics to this though. This is a song I only got into as an adult, although I've heard it my whole life. It was the dude version. I got a little masculine this year. I had to, sorry. Sometimes you gotta defend yourself. Check it out though. This is like amazing. I will strike down with great vengeance. Let's see what we got here. No lyrics on this one, but I'll look them up. Hold on. Oh shit, what the fuck? Hold on. This was the dude version. And holy fuck did this song bring me back to life. But also, like I said, like Deo Ex Machina. Hold on. We're gonna slow it down. I'm actually gonna play the real song. We're gonna play the whole song. Power and pray. Here is your bargain. My soul for your head. And there's no turning back now. Taking my time with you, oh so carefully. This fails us all. What you've done will not come without punishment. You're bleeding down. Well, actually, like, Norma Jean is Christian death metal, but they're Southern metal, and I didn't care if they were Christian or not, but now I think it's cool even more. I'll find you. Power and pray. Here's the bargain. My soul for your head. I was saying I will die to shut you the fuck up and do not touch my brothers and my friends. I never felt this song until this year. Interesting, you know, because this is the dude version, and I had to get a little masculine, and I fucking fell so hard with this song. It vibes so hard. Justice face us all. Your sentence is now. What you've done will not come without punishment. And you notice there's no like melodic breakdowns like there is on Come On In. You deserve everything you get. Edward's had his ups and his downs. Leave the man alone. It is what it is. Agree. Thank you, Joe. I love you. But yeah, this was a song none of the girls got into because it was just too masculine. But honestly, the lyrics hit so hard. Don't turn away. There's no turning. What you've got, you're not come without. I'm not going, dude. I said this. Like, what are you not listening to? Why are you in your own head when I speak like I don't speak enough? So he's basically saying I'll die to get rid of you because you're a fucking problem and you fuck with my people. It's called Savage Henry. I love, this is my new favorite song forever now. Come On In is like I'm gonna get annoyed when I listen to it now. It's not. I can easily restart it in LA. Like I've said this, you should probably pay attention to the things I've said. I'm giving her an opportunity to fuck off and leave me alone. And if she doesn't, all I have to do literally is within a month, if I need to, refile. And it's already granted. It was just an emergency order. And because of the DV circumstances of displacement of shelter, I literally actually can easily just do that in court. I've spoken to the courts. You should pay attention so I don't have to loop though. It's not my problem. You don't listen. No, it's actually the same state in an order that was already granted and it's digital with no one with a face to be seen. It's pretty powerful evidence. I've already talked to the courts, you dumb fucks. Holy fuck. Get help, all of you. Like, goddamn. This is why you should probably go away because you're not gonna get a response here and you still don't matter. How does that actually feel? I'm just wondering. Speak reality or go away. Speak real free speech on an equal level so everyone else isn't scared and runs off or you're fucking making them uncomfortable or scaring them. Oh, that's free speech. That's what my chat's about, is real free speech. A level playing field. Babble and spam and fake news, they're not part of it. Wait, what are we talking about now? Hold on. Wait a second. Oh my gosh, that wasn't very nice, Edward. I needed money. But yeah, I do, like, Norma Jean is like, oh my god, Norma Jean, dude. But anyway, so that album actually was crazy because I was literally sitting right fucking here trying to get that first hearings like outline started. I was a hot mess. I couldn't do it. And I sat there, I'm like, I can't do this. And so I was starting to feel emo, like I just wanted to die. And again, like I said, like, I don't know how you are with religion, any of you, but I had my atheist moments. I've killed myself and seen nothing. And then I realized God was real right before the riots in Bean. And then I never unsaw God. I just denounced him after Bean died the way she died because there was no justification for it. And I still have a hard time thinking about why with that one. But I didn't know that he would still be around. And in hindsight, I saw there were still miracles. But when I started to pray again, it was literally like I sat here defeated. And I was like, my life is never going to be mine again. And I was just like so over it. I cried. And then I played Come On In. And then Deo Ex Machina, what it basically is not, this is the irony of it, right? So Deo Ex Machina is the name of this album. So I was getting into it because I was emo and I wanted to listen to Come On In, which is about suicide and nobody listening. Wham. And then I got mad about how it was affecting people I cared about, and Savage Henry just hit so fucking hard. But Deo Ex Machina, check this. I've been saying, and I'm sure Scribbles can relate, people are literally looking at us like we're not real people and we are just like pixels on a screen. So therefore, in their eyes, we are a plot, which is what Deo Ex Machina is actually contextually relevant for. It's not really supposed to be used in real life context. But since you guys all see me as a story, yeah, Deo Ex Machina, God out of a machine, basically almost like you know the game Gaul, a divine move. Like it's something that comes out of nowhere that you're not going to expect, that completely changes the picture and the character and the plot line. You would expect it to go a certain way, but a God out of a machine moves a situation in a totally different direction, and it's usually to the benefit of the person you don't think has a chance. So ironically enough, it all was perfect. Oh no, well, it just depends actually. Like also, like, in your cases, I don't know what exactly, like, the types are, but, like, DV, no. And then because the chick here was connected to DV by the penal code that exists, which actually you guys have too, it's South, it's the same state. Basically, like, they removed a lot of issues with me there, even at civil courts, because it was technically of DV targeting. Even though civil courts was an individual case, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, it's complicated, I guess, if it's not like a mainstream concept, which it's not, which was why it was so confusing and stressful. But like also the interference was gross. Also that made it extra hard and gross, but like I still won. I'm just saying, like, yeah, no, it just depends, like if you're a harassment victim and or DV is violence and physical threats. Civil courts, they can waive service fees. But I would say, like, if there's civil stuff with you, they probably pay the service fees. I don't know what you're talking about. I literally never do this anymore. I often just ignore you and live my life. IP2 Scholar, you're already getting away. Like, no, retard hours. You're so dumb that you literally just came in the one time in months that I've really sat down and talked to you guys. Holy shit, you're stupid. Seek a brain cell. Goodbye now, IP2 Scholar. This is why you're there. A reject that no one loves. This is why you on the internet try to be smart when you're stupid as fuck and you can't help looking as dumb as you are. So there's that. Brutal. I love it. Speak less. Oh wait, you're contributing to my AdSense and you still can't talk. What does stalker feel like? Just wondering. Thank you though. I love exploiting you guys more than you've ever exploited me. We haven't leveled the score yet, but judging by how many of you love to stare at me while I don't respond, I'm gonna say you're giving me back what you took, whether you want to or not, because you're that stuck on my dick. Weird fucks, by the way. So technically, okay, so Melissa's is like actually like an emergency order and she's already acknowledged, like the courts know that she's evading. But the thing is, like, technically with civil courts, okay, so I got her services done in both counties because those were the two locations, free because they were connected with DV. And then I also had some other leniencies with the penal code connecting them here. Again, in other states, it's not exactly like that because this just had a law to connect a cyber law with another type of crime that was expanded. So, like, isn't that crazy, like, how that works? We have that power here. Although I don't think the people that put our O's on you went that deep. I had to, though, to win. Yo, Michael, what's up? But no, so she already admitted to it and she knows, and it was filed because she was evading. So also they know she's been evading. So, yeah, no, like, I'm sure she did talk to a lawyer who was like, well, just in case you actually get served, like, don't speak. But I would recommend she not speak at all at this point. Like, I'm giving her a chance at life to just fuck off. So, like, it would be respectful if she would do that. Also, I can still keep going if I need to, so there's that. But, yeah, no, like, the ex was supposed to get served no matter what. Well, in Arizona, the ex got served for orders for free when he was homeless. But Cali refuses to serve the homeless. Kind of get it because it's way more populous dense and chaotic. Also, their crimes are crazy. So, like, they're not gonna, like, just go try and find a homeless person who's already trying to evade. Like, I get that. But also, like, I didn't, because of all the situations and the money targeting and the loss of everything and my money being, like, stretched in weird places at the most bare minimum moments, I couldn't afford a server. And Billy was supposed to do it, and then he, like, I think that his family, like, talked him into not doing it, which is fine. And I respect that. Also, I wasn't gonna expect him to anyways, but that just said a lot for me that he was even willing to do it. And then Nick doxed him. Yikes. Also, like, wish that wasn't the case. Yeah, I'm really sleepy and I'm about to go to bed soon. Actually, I keep saying that. But Scribbles is in here. I haven't seen him in a while. And I actually am enjoying seeing, like, Joe. And, like, Joe, you know what it's like when I try to respond. I try so hard. And then I have to give up and walk away. And it's like, I give you half of, like, all this information. And then I'm like, I'll be back later. I love you. Like, Joe gets it. I know he does. And actually, probably Duncan, you do too, actually, at this point. Like, I disappear for days because I am really focused on a lot. And if I have the luxury of a conversation with someone for fun, it's rare right now. But it's coming back normal soon. I know that. I have that feeling, and I've been right about my feelings the whole time. Good. Oh my god, Joe. I'm seriously, like, boy, I'm gonna help you with some shit. Alright, when I can. I want to see you happy and feeling like you're a person and not like a commodity, okay? Like, honestly, like, let me help with that if I can. And I adore you. Well, no, my courts actually, like, they continued the case over and over because she was evading, so they kept it in place. It's still active right now. It will be inactive, but like I said, I've already talked to the courts. I know exactly what I have to do if it doesn't stop. I'd have to do it in a certain time frame to make it relevant, though, but I will know, I'm sure, as soon as tomorrow comes. You know what I mean? If she keeps talking, and if it keeps getting worse, it's really that simple. I've done my research, and I've talked to both courts. I know what I have to do. But no, it's been fucking 4 continuances because she's been evading so bad. They do know she's been evading, by the way. Yeah, and all the services, requirements-wise, physically, have been met, which basically greens light me as soon as I go to LA. If I need to be like, look, here's 2 affidavits from 2 types of attempted service. And then also, like, yeah, like, also this was just granted, but because I'm a DV victim and I'm displaced to shelter, I couldn't finish it there. Yes, those are circumstantial, and they're all going to help me. They basically make the process a lot less technical, basically, because DV victims are not meant to be lawyers, but they're usually often self-representing because they have nothing else to pay a lawyer with. That's the point. Again, they take your money so you can't fight back or walk away. Oh, Joseph is. I know. But then like he gets it because like I come in and I disappear. Actually, it was an Audi. It wasn't an enlarged belly button hole. I had a hernia when I was born, and it got fucking fixed. I had so many hernias. I have a connective tissue disorder, and it is not our fans. It's EDS, like I've said. It's why the trauma from the horse kick probably gave me the issues with my POTS, because normal people, like, their tissue isn't as fragile as mine. So the horse kick caused trauma while I was developing, and it caused a situation that ultimately, like, when that fucking semi-truck hit the car behind me that hit me into 2 other cars in LA, like 2013. I went to go to the Anaheim fucking chiropractor because it was covered for free, obviously. I got a $10,000 settlement check like a year later. But those things don't come instantly, right? But I still got one. I was a car in the middle that had nothing to do with anything, and I was like, bah, bah, bah. It was so fucked up too, because by technicality, they gave all of us behind the last car a small portion of blame. But the reality is, none of us paid out. It was just like a technical thing on insurance. The guy behind in the big truck that hit the truck behind me hit me into another car that hit one more car in front. And everybody but the very front car got some level of like liability, but nobody, like, we all got paid out if we were hit by the back truck. You know what I'm saying? Which was crazy. And I was so mad, dude. I just got in that Yaris. And I got out. And that was when I got my best friend from Clovis, my old roommate in Ohio, that ended up going back to his mom. I was like, Jay, we have to go to fucking... Just come to Orange County. It's lovely. Fuck Fresno, my son. Fuck you and your California existence. This mine's better. Come here. And after we'd been in Ohio, like, anywhere was great. But it was just fun to be with him in OC, because that was one of my dudes. Probably because I'm banning a lot of stalkers that are still paying me, and that is just fine. It tells me more about them than me, and I love it. I'm down. Humble up. Thank you for letting me exploit you guys. I know you tried so hard to exploit me. You did. I'm taking it back now. Thank you for showing you guys are that addicted to my existence. It's beautiful. But yeah, I was gonna go smoke a cigarette and then go the fuck to bed. Oh, yeah, I've never caused a major collision in my life. Ever fucking ever. So like, just for the record, I've hit a lot of curbs, but you know what's normal when you do delivery app gigs, especially in very small cul-de-sacs, etc. Or like when you're like manic and homeless in your car and you haven't coped and grieved and gotten through things. I would imagine driving isn't as useful, but also like, since I've never had a real collision, I guess I'm really actually a pretty good driver because I'm quite distracted. So, yeah, and I have no charges because I didn't break a law. She was jaywalking, and I still had liability for her health coverage. But I know you're the same type to say I did a hit and run too. So, like, I'm just gonna remind you you're retarded if that's the case. Have a nice day. So there's that. I'm gonna smoke, and then we're going to, I'm gonna sign off and go the fuck to bed. Yeah, I've had vendors, I won't lie, especially when I was younger. But I also like had just started driving and mostly learned in LA and like Scottsdale, which is actually, oh, Phoenix is the worst during season because you have people. I love LA actually. This is why. I'm not saying I'm a good driver at all. I'm saying I'm pretty reckless, but I'm not actually like the driver you guys have coined me out. Just like all the other things that you guys have said about me, like my degree that I earned that wasn't even that exciting was fake. Who's jealous of an associate's degree? I'm allowed to be proud of it. I went through hell to get through it, but like, fuck you for acting like that's like a big deal to pretend it's fake. That's weird. That means you guys really never even achieved anything if you're that jealous that I had a fucking degree for that. Yikes. Anyways, I digress. No, I'm not, don't twist my words and put words in my mouth. I'm not actually saying is what I'm saying, you know? That's all. Oh, fuck. Wow. What? Oh, you had an Audi? I've never had a car that nice, but the cars I bought myself were always nice. And when people gifted me cars, they were always Chevys. And they were in really good shape. But even really in good shape Chevys, they don't the way I drive. Dude, my first car, the Lumina my dad got me, God. It lasted 3 years and it died. Like, it kind of died like the fucking Corolla did with the transmission going out. I mean, actually, though, I'm actually pretty much not, since I've never caused a major accident and I can juggle things I know most people would cause major accidents in. I'm not saying it's a stance to, like, be, like, influenced by, and I don't want other people driving like that. But I've had to adapt. The reason is because when I worked for my pet sitting company, the owner was nuts, dude. She was fucking psycho. And she flipped out on me because I was in the middle of driving and she wanted to talk to me and I couldn't respond and she wasn't answering her phone. So it got to the point where I literally had to adapt And also, like, when I got more clients and when I was on the gig app stuff, I was always on my phone. And then when I started streaming, like, don't even get me started. No, I had the phone right here, and my fucking eyes were always, like, really basically able to just look up in a split second. Not enough for me to be, like, caught off guard if I was too close to a car. That's why nothing ever major got hit with me while I did those things. Although, yes, curbs and, like, cul-de-sacs and, like, mania and, like, stress. Also, just the job itself. Like I said, Purple's hit so many curbs and worse. You wouldn't know. I didn't show it to you guys. It wasn't live. But, like, we were talking about it. And he fucking ran over a couple. I'm like, Purple, why? You should have just not. He's like, it's fine. Why is my oil pan cracked? I'm like, luckily you work on your own cars, you dick. Why would you break your baby like that anyways? No, he had the same situations I did, because, except for probably a few less. But, like, normally pre-stress being homeless in the car working, like, literally, like, I would have had the same amount too. These tight little cul-de-sacs and gated communities and, like, trying to find them, and then, like, barriers here and there and trying to get around this area to get to this building, like, you hit things. A person that I have no charges for because I still didn't break the law. Do you want to sound any stupider? I love it. I love this. Thank you for being dumb on your own account. Thank you for not making me work to, like, make sure you know who you are. I guess you already do when you speak. This is why you're stuck here. Normal people don't like you, huh? I know. That's why most of you are here. It is what it is. Oh god. Alright, we're gonna go out, smoke one cigarette, and I'm out for the night. Oh, on my knee. Ouch, I sat on my knee, and it was not pleasant, and that was just ouch. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh god. Oi! Boogie is napping. I'm not even gonna wake her up. I don't want to smoke all my cigarettes because they're more expensive than the fucking. I don't have a lot of money right now. Thank you guys for the donos, though. I know people have today. And honestly, like, just the fact that you did, thank you. I don't need $1 million, but it all helps, and just the respect. Also, like I said, I don't have to tolerate bullshit fucking power chats, and I will scam. And I'm okay with that. Because they usually don't do chargebacks, so it would be my money anyways, am I right? But it's funny because, like, oh shit, hold on. Anyway, sorry guys. I'm outside. Where'd my lighter just get over in here? Oop. Where did the other lighter go? Where'd the lighter go? I just bought a lighter and it's missing already. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Okay, I'm getting off in a very short moment. It is fucking 4 or 5, huh? It's 5, huh? Yeah, it's definitely bedtime soon. And then I have to clean the fucking goddamn fucking bedroom the whole day. Oh, I don't know. Anywho, here we are. Alright, I'm not gonna take her out. She won't even wake up right now. Yeah, my Chevy was a 99, but I didn't work in my Chevy the first time I had a Chevy, the one my dad got me. But I drove around. It was my first car. Trust, a lot of mistakes were done in that car. Oh, and I drove it hard for 3 years. I drove it all over, like, Pennsylvania, New York. I mean, that was, like, that's the other thing, too. Like, part of me, like, emotionally, like, decompressing is driving. And that's what I used to do, was I would just drive somewhere, anywhere, that wasn't where I was at, and I got out of my mental bubble. I've been stuck in this house, and when Purple wants to go escape, it's like he gets to, and I don't. So, that was really hard for me. Like, the most traumatic, actually, was that I just didn't feel like I could be safe of my own mind, have my own privacy, you know, make my own money. The car thing was devastating. And I knew if that ever happened, that would be the fucking problem, was everything that did happen. God, it's cold. Fuck, it's so cold. Honestly, you guys, this is the best I got right now. Anyway, so, and then my friend gave me the fucking Blazer after the Yaris got it got hit on the side after the Yaris got hit so many times by cars in LA. Yes, I was not the problem in any of them. But what's fucked up is that when my car got hit, I had a witness. And my light was fucking green. Okay. It turned yellow as soon as I went through it. But the guy that was coming from the other direction really had no reason to be going left or right since I had the right of way. So he literally got finally, because at first it was just cars fendering like back of my car, and then I had a few of my own fenders. Mild though. But the car was fine. It was just because the front and back are much more stable. If you get the frame from the side though, because people are literally that obsessed with me, George, and you know that. This is why it's funny. Because they want to know what my next moves are, and I just, like, I don't have to do anything other than be me now, and I don't have to engage, and they're still here paying me AdSense, and I love that. So that's cute. I'm winning, actually. Thank you for reminding me. I love rubbing it in their faces when they can't stop obsessing over me while they can't talk in my chat. Thanks for the money, guys. Loves it. Oh god. The reason though is, yeah, like I went viral because of abuse, and then because of the abuse and the information that was used, it was, you know, and now people can't talk, and I won. It is what it is. Oh no, that was Scottsdale actually, and that was actually before the millennial PD force switched over. This is what's fucked up. Okay, so I had a witness. It was off of Drinkwater. It was over by the PD station, and I literally had the right of way, and I had a fucking witness. She stopped and she even talked to the cops. You know what the cops did? I was literally having an episode on the side of the road with a car I couldn't drive in the heat, in the dead summer. The officer didn't want to take me anywhere safe, which actually was like not legal because it would have been considered a bias by law with disability. But I didn't even know that at the time. It was just gross. He literally, the dude who hit me was driving on a suspended license, and that was what they took him in for. But I literally had the thing got totaled out at a no fucking fault, or like a two-way fault, which didn't even make sense because my witness literally saw it. And what happened was that my insurance covered the whole car but nothing else, and his insurance didn't pay anything, which was like crazy. But he got arrested for his other, like, it was obvious like he was a bad driver. Oh my god. And I had a witness. It was crazy. But the old Scottsdale PD was so lazy. They were corrupt too, but they were more covert. Like Mesa, the PD officer, the chief, was like found drunk, and then literally on camera caught saying, well, I'm the police chief. So that when he went to jail in Scottsdale, they still like, Scottsdale likes to have an image, but they're corrupt too in their own ways. And it was much worse before the millennial PD force came on. I much prefer the millennial PD force, even though it was pretty obvious they weren't even experienced enough to know with the squatters law thing that ruined my life. But like, I can only hold that against them so much. I like them much more, but they need to probably have more experience. But what I've seen from the younger cops, the one that took the report on Melissa, she was listening and she got it a little bit, and she was so sweet at the end. Like at first I think I terrified her because I was manic. I was freaking the fuck out and I couldn't handle anymore. And she came and she was like, I was on the wrong phone looking for shit too. The shit she ended up using in her report is what she gave the harassment charge for. I couldn't figure out which phone it was on because I was panicking, and I had 4 phones, and I'm like, I didn't want her to leave. And I was like, oh my god, no, it was on the other phone the whole time. It took 5 fucking minutes. Again, I didn't want to waste your time. Gen X is one of the generations I wish I was when I was a kid, but I'm glad I'm not them now. You're either going to be in the middle and kind of like life isn't over and you're still fucked trying to relearn new things, or you're my age group where you had to relearn before you were mentally developed. And I think that would be better than being stuck in some hybrid world, which is where I think Gen X is unfortunately stuck at. I would not want to be older millennial or Gen X at this point in history, but I think you guys had the coolest childhoods, and that's my opinion on that one. But anyways, fuck, it's cold. It's too cold. A boat would be cool, but I'm not going to pretend I can drive a boat. And then the Blazer lasted 3 years because I worked in it all the time. And then I tried driving it to Cali and back once, and it made it, but like, oh my god, barely. I always took a rental car to Cali when I had the Blazer. But as soon as I got the Corolla, like, I knew things were going to be okay. That was my lifeline, and I knew it. And it was before I lost my home, and it was before I met you-know-who. So it was like this weird, like, oh, cool. At first it was like, no matter what, like, me and the pets can live in the car. It'll be okay, worst case. But like, it ended up not even ending up like that, and I regained what I thought I might lose, and then I was okay. And then it happened anyways with, you know, all the shit with you-know-who. So it was like, I can't click that from here, dear. 78 isn't that old, actually. My grandma's 86. And I'm pretty sure that's why her and my mom aren't talking, because my grandma's like checked out from the whole cyber world that we've developed, and she is just trying to have her peace at the end of her life, and like, she's basically like abandoned my family for her boyfriends, which sucks. I miss that. My grandma was my second mother, and my mom is literally like not even talking. My mom refuses to talk to her no matter how important it is, which is gross. But also my grandma literally like pushed my sister out of her house really like short term after she was like a new mother, and that was gross too. I get why my family's mad at my grandma, but also like, she's old. Nobody her age should have to fucking live like this is reality, because they lived in a whole different world and they just want to die in peace, you know? I get it. Also though, grandma, come on. Yikes. You were such a strong support system in our family for so long. Where did you go? Sucks, but it is what it is. I get it though. It just really sucks. 78's okay. But I know that's around the time 70, 80 when people start not really lasting that long. My family, we have a lot of chronic illness, but we last at least until our 90s, most of us. So it's like we suffer, but we don't really die. I guess that's funny. I don't know. My grandpa even, he was pretty old, but his blood cancer was so rare and random, and it just like literally like overnight he disintegrated, I guess. That was kind of why I didn't go home too, because it was like the last time I'd seen him was only months prior, and he was fine, and we talked about business and how I'd left my ex, and he was asking if I left that piece of shit and if I was going to be okay, and I told him my plan, and we talked about all the other plans I had, and then suddenly I was just not even able to really even process what happened, and that was my first grandparent I've ever had die. And did you guys know that's actually how I got involved with chicken? Because, well, directly, although it ended up being a lot more emotional stuff.